some entertainment stories to share with you. We'll start with, how about this one? It's a debate for parents. How young is too young for your kids to have their own phone?
Yes.
Well, Sophia Ritchie has shown that too young may not actually exist, at least not in her family. For her daughter, Eloise, the age of having your own phone is 5 months old.
5 months? That's ludicrous.
She recently shared
What kind of plan?
On an interview. She talked about how it works. She said, Eloise has a little baby phone that we get to text, or I like to text. So how does a 5-month-old text back? Richie said, whoever is with Eloise gets the phone, and then they will send the text. So it's stupid.
So I used to have a Fisher-Price phone as a kid. Did you ever have? You had one of those, right?
Yeah, sure. It's some kind of toy phone.
Yeah, you give them a toy phone. You don't give them a real phone.
When later on, when we had like family members who had babies, and we would give them an old, unused phone to play with.
Right,
so
right.
An actual, smartphone or, an old, outdated one. And so those are
They
now
didn't know
toys.
they're stupid.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the same, but my younger brother, when his kids were born, got them an email address and a Facebook account. But he did that solely to
Lock it in?
Well, A, lock it in, and then B, he doesn't release the username and password to them until later on. Like, in fact, I think maybe his daughter might have it now, but it's kind of like a photo album for them.
I
As
gotcha.
their
All
That's
right.
kind of fun.
That is kind of cool.
I have a friend whose email address is Mr. Dex, and before he even started dating somebody, he also signed up for an email for Mrs. Dex, because anticipating that someday, eventually, he's going to meet Mrs. Right, but he got an email address for his future wife before he even met that future wife.
That's planning.
Yeah,
It is. So at the peak of, and we're not done with this yet, the Brooks Nader Gleb Savchenko situationship. The Dancing with the Stars pro and his partner famously got matching tattoos.
Oh, man.
A little more than a month later, Nader's tattoo is about to go the way of their relationship. TMZ caught up with her yesterday, peppering her with questions about Savchenko, about Gleb, as we know him. For her part, Nader says that she didn't know they were dating, calling the pair colleagues, and she also admitted that she was getting her matching tattoo removed.
Wait a second. So she considered the relationship that they were just simply colleagues?
And so they got matching tattoos? Excuse me?
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Have you? No. I would never.
No.
I would never do that.
No. So the Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos, chose her man. That show is over now. But what if she had a legit shot with her celebrity crush? She was on Jimmy Kimmel Live when she confessed that Rob Lowe was her ultimate guy goal. Now, Vassos explained that she was an extra on the set of St. Elmo's Fire and met Rob there and has had it bad for him ever since. So Kimmel asked her if she would be able to trade the love she met on The Golden Bachelor for Lowe, and she said, in 1 second. Well, Rob saw that and stitched that clip to his reaction and posted it on Instagram. Rob's response was, I could be the Golden Bachelor. That's better than a Golden Globe, I think. Vassos actually saw Lowe's post and posted it herself. But Rob can't be the Golden Bachelor. He's been happily married to Cheryl Burkhoff since 1991.
So I've heard the litmus test for the Brat Pack that for women would be, are you Rob Lowe or Andrew McCarthy?
Get out.
Yeah.
I'm Rob Lowe all day, every day.
Yeah, it'd have to be Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Andrew McCarthy is nice and everything, and he's an enjoyable guy, but he's not nearly as good looking and suave as Rob
He
Lowe.
plays that sax.
Come on.
My panties drop.
Yeah. Filmmaker Steve McQueen has revealed that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer 2 years ago, but is now fully recovered, fully functional due to early detection and treatment. He delayed filming for his movie Blitz by 2 weeks to have the tumor removed, keeping the news private to avoid distracting his cast and crew as well. He, inspired by his dad's death from prostate cancer. He had regularly screened himself, which he credits for saving his life. And you would attest to that, Steve.
I absolutely would. The PSA test.
At a UK parliamentary event, he advocated for a prostate cancer research campaign promoting early detection, especially emphasizing the risk for black men. He said the tragedy of this is that no one has to die of it. He shared and urged men to prioritize prostate screenings.
That's exactly right. And Mike, Dr. Mike says it all the time. No one need ever die of prostate cancer or thyroid cancer. These are ones that are, when caught early, they're absolutely reversible.
And they're easy to test for. That's the thing, too, as opposed to for something like pancreatic cancer where it's
more elusive.
You have to wait for something to happen. So you can get these early tests done, and you should get them done. So if you're thinking about a prostate exam, go get it. Kim and Kourtney Kardashian teaming up for a new Skims collaboration with Dolce & Gabbana.
Like we did.
Despite their past disagreements over the luxury brand. The sisters, whose feud over their Dolce & Gabbana ties played out on the Kardashians, now appear together in a vintage Italian-inspired campaign showcasing Skims' upcoming limited edition collection. The timeless Italian allure of Dolce & Gabbana meets signature Skims fabrics and figure shaping styles. Kim wrote on Instagram announcing the release for November 19th. And the sisters' previous tension arose when Kim collaborated with Dolce & Gabbana shortly after the designers hosted Kourtney's wedding in Italy and crafted her wedding attire. So Kourtney had accused Kim's fashion line.
Wait, let me get a pencil.
I know, you need to write this down.
I know, I'm following. Go ahead.
Kourtney had accused Kim's fashion line of copying the vibe of her nuptials.
That's a lot of cuss sounds.
She took her vibe.
I know, and Kim defended her collaboration, even pointing out shared elements between the weddings. She said, I got married in Italy. Am I saying that you copied me by getting married in Italy?
Good point.
Yeah, she's not.
And she said, you stole my effing wedding country.
Stole her, yes.
And my wedding performer, in reference to Andrea Bocelli performing at both ceremonies.
You don't
Also,
do that.
isn't she much younger than Kim? Like, shut up. Kim already did this.
Right.
Kourtney is...
Or no, am I getting it wrong?
I think
Kourtney's the
older
elder
one, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So shut up the other way around.
All right.
Who's ever...
We need somebody
I'll work it out for you.
sort this out, please. Yes.
High up in the sky, I can tell you that Kourtney's the oldest. I believe it goes Kourtney, Chloe, and Kim.
Nope.
No,
I
Kim
think
and then Chloe.
Chloe's the youngest.
Really, that bear?
I know. It's hard to believe with the size and everything. Yeah, Kourtney is 45, Kim is 44, and Chloe is 40.
I'm going to send you a picture, Preston. It's
Chloe's
a beautiful picture of Chloe. She's pulling living salmon out of a river.
Wow. It's got to be adorable. Despite the past, Dolce & Gabbana's founders expressed excitement about the collaboration with the Kardashian sisters, emphasizing their close relationship with the family.
Wait, did they say what the product is? Or
No.
Skims, right?
It has to do with Skims.
Yeah.
So whatever that is.
I was just wondering.
By the way, if you're new to the show, that voice you hear of Caitlin
Yes.
is because, if you may not know this, Caitlin actually is the captain of a starship,
The Genosphere.
the Jenner Sphere.
Yeah.
And from time to time pays a visit to the show.
It's a riff on the Dyson Sphere.
That's right.
It's an entire environment encapsulated in a large death-like star.
That's correct.
But we have incredible facilities here, and your offer's still open, Preston, if you ever want to come up and check it
I
out.
would love to. Absolutely.
It's
Especially
wonderful.
those.
We have a
those-
golf course.
And the flight pods are
They're terrific.
I hear they have every amenity.
Everything you could possibly want.
I'm looking forward to that.
I
So,
love it. Ta-ta.
moving on. Moving on. TJ Miller and Ryan Reynolds had a falling out that resulted in Miller saying that he would never work with Reynolds again. Miller played Weasel, the bartender, in the first two Deadpool movies, but he was not part of Deadpool and Wolverine. That said, he's actually down for Deadpool 4 if it ever happens. He said, I think that would be awesome. The rift came about when Miller said that he was done with Reynolds because in character as Deadpool, Reynolds was, he said, quote, horrifically mean to me in an interview at the time. Reynolds saw that interview and immediately reached out to TJ, and apparently the two are all good now. He said it was really cool. He emailed me the next day. It was a misunderstanding, so I emailed him back, and now it's fine.
That's what it sounded like. We talked to him about it a little bit, yeah, they were having this exchange, and he's good at improvisational comedy as well, and maybe things got out of hand.
Yeah,
I'd love to see, because I loved his character in the first two.
I did too.
Yeah.
And I've kind of missed him in the Deadpool and Wolverine. So after a lengthy delay, as Jamie Foxx recuperated from a life-threatening health issue, the first trailer for Back in Action is out, and that stars him and Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
Who returns from an 11-year acting hiatus for the action comedy. Diaz and Fox play a retired CIA agent couple who find themselves out of the suburbs and back in the field when their cover is suddenly blown. The movie also stars Kyle Chandler and Glenn Close, and Back in Action will be on Netflix January 17th.
Listen, I'm going to watch it, but I can already guarantee you that it sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, Netflix movies are just not good. But I watch
They're
them
few and far
anyway.
between.
Some of them, for every 5, you'll get one.
You'll get one.
So the
That's
one,
like, okay, this is okay.
what's the latest one? I was telling you about Dead Silent or
I watched one with Liam Hemsworth and Russell Crowe.
Okay.
That one is, Liam Hemsworth he's a drone operator that's required to actually go into the
field.
S, as they say.
Right, yeah.
And things go sideways. It was okay.
Extraction was good.
Extraction it was fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is a thing where you just know. But listen, you're sitting on your couch. Give me a little bit of something. It might be good.
And that's what they do.
Yeah.
All right, you guys will love this. She has long since left her teen status behind, but that doesn't mean that Robin Lively wouldn't revisit her teen witch days. Yeah! The actress, who is now 52, spoke to E.T. at the Los Angeles premiere of Landman this week.
Do you think you would ever do that again?
And E.T. and she talked about it, and the subject of the movie came up, and when asked if she would ever do a reboot, she replied, yes, 100%.
I would go see it.
Yeah, and
Isn't your sister Blake Lively?
she is. She's the older sister of Blake Lively,
I knew that.
and she even has a concept for the hypothetical follow-up.
She does?
She said, yes. She said, I would be, well, you did the interview.
I wasn't listening.
Oh, okay.
You bring some chicken.
She said, she said, I would be Louise.
Be Louise.
But for me, that story would be the mom, the daughter, passing that on to my 16-year-old. She said, wouldn't that be fun?
I mean, honestly, between Blake and Ryan could totally fund this and make it happen. I would listen. I don't know the movie all that well. I just know that stupid "Top That" song.
Do you remember that you were at the screening we had?
Yeah,
at
but
the
I probably was high. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was.
And you're not. If you want to hang with me, I'll give it one shot. Top that.
We had a screening of that movie at a packed Trocadero theater. I
loved
couldn't
it.
believe
I
everybody
friggin' loved
showed
it.
up for that.
Wasn't it great?
It was awesome. We got hammered and watched Teen Witch. It was excellent.
And you're not.
Yeah.
But so anyhow, she said she'd be down for it if the powers that be.
I would definitely be into it.
Yeah.
It's one of the best junk food movies.
Yep.
A lot of the people from that time period are in this movie.
And Robin Lively was such a pretty. She's still beautiful.
Yeah.
But such a pretty teenager, and well, obviously you can see the looks in her and Blake Lively. They have great genetics that they come from.
And it's one of those cases where even when they dowdy her down,
Yeah.
with what they think is unattractive,
She's still gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you guys will like this. Josh Groban is heading up a new holiday special for CBS called
Nice.
Josh Groban and Friends Go Home for the Holidays.
is this maybe our shot at getting him?
I hope so. I want to chat with this guy.
As the show name hints, Groban isn't going to be alone in this special. There will be musical performances from Groban, as well as special guests including James Bate, Jennifer Hudson,
nice voice.
Tori Kelly, and The War and Treaty. Yeah, so some good singers. The special will also feature stories, comedy, and a live adoption on stage.
A live adoption?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
What it says here.
Hey, which kid do you want?
Serious?
Sorry, guys, you're going back to the orphanage.
Groban shares saying, I am honored and excited to host a show with friends, old and new, to celebrate the unity and togetherness of the holidays. It is especially important because it will spread the importance of adoption and will feature the most incredible kids.
So they're doing a live adoption. Could they do a live euthanasia? Someone
Sure.
At the end of their arc.
Why not?
With the family gathered around the bed.
But he said, I can't wait for everyone to watch. Josh Groban and Friends Go Home for the Holidays will air December 20th on CBS.
They're finding a kid from a foster care situation, and making it an official adoption of the family.
Wow.
So that's a really heartwarming thing.
That is.
There
That's
was
actually very sweet.
Video yesterday of a kid with his first year who had been adopted by a family looking around like, I can't believe this is happening. It's such a wonderful video.
All right, so it's just a family who's already going to adoption,
Correct.
and they're going
They're
to
just
do
gonna
the
make it
actual.
official.
No, Kathy. They had to wheel out this big bin full of kids. Yeah.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Like a big bin where they move stuff like product through Target, and they're all sitting in there, and that one looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, all right.
All right, we have 7 kids in this bin, all of different ethnicities and religions.
What are you going to choose? What's it going to be?
Oh my God.
Actually,
like-
what if they have to play a game?
Right,
Like,
right,
an
yeah.
actual game, like a pricing game.
The kids that you would,
sorry.
we're
Yeah.
gonna play. You would love me because. Go ahead, kids. Because
I always clean up my room. Please adopt me.
Terrible.
I don't need a lot. I can live in the basement.
I'm sorry. That answer is incorrect.
I'm so sorry, Johnny. We're sending you back though with a Candyland game.
All right. Well,
It's
anyhow,
already been used, just missing some pieces.
they're gonna do
Just
that.
like you, just like your little life.
All right, a couple other quick things. Apple TV has announced both premieres of season 4 of Mythic Quest and its companion series called Side Quest, which is interesting. Mythic Quest will return on January 29th, 2 new episodes followed by 1 new episode every Wednesday through March 26th. All 4 episodes of Side Quest will then debut on March 26th.
So today's youth, when they do something, they call it a side quest, right?
From the video
like,
games,
yeah,
yeah.
from video games. So my daughter's like, oh yeah, I just went on a side quest. I had to go to the commissary and grab some. I'm like, it's not a side, but okay, whatever.
I like that,
Yeah,
though.
so do I.
I like,
So do I.
I like
Yeah.
using that term.
By the way, I think you'll agree, Preston, as a gamer.
I love Side Quest.
Yeah,
They're fun.
Yeah?
unless there's too many of them.
Yeah, so
I love the ability to have that, but like Grand Theft Auto, which I love the game series, too many side quests.
the Harry Potter Legacy game, because I told you that's the last one I played. That one had loads of side quests as well. And if your goal is to complete all of them, you got a lot of work ahead of you.
Too much work, and also a lot of times I found myself in games going, am I playing the main story
Right.
or am I playing the side
All right.
quest?
So if my when I leave here, if my ultimate goal is to get home, anything I do between that is a side quest. So if I had to go to
Stopping at Wawa?
Yeah,
that's
it's a side quest.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. All right, so one last story. NBC has released the latest trailer, and I was like, I didn't even know this had a second season. Maybe I've mentioned it before, and I laughed at it, but then I heard the concept, and I don't hate it. So it's called Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, they
Yes.
win
Okay,
a
so
lot of
season
money,
2.
yeah.
Season
Right.
2. I did not know. I was not aware of this, even though I've probably talked about it. Will return on January 7th with a 2-hour premiere, followed by its regular time slot, January 14th. The new season features 14 reality stars, including Survivor's Parvati Shallow and Survivor Australia's David Gannat and Big Brother's Dr. Will Kirby as they compete for over $200 million.
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear that? $200 million hidden across suitcases on the island. So each episode includes challenges where players secure briefcases, and the player with the highest value case gains immunity and a chance to send a rival to, quote, the temple. I don't know what the hell that means.
That's where they kill them.
So I assume like Deal or No Deal, there's a potential for $200 million. Nobody's going to win $200 million.
Did you ever?
Yeah, watch that show?
Did you ever see anyone win the million on Deal or No Deal?
I remember, I want to say I did. It happened rarely,
Right.
but somebody won the big prize, if I recall correctly.
This is $200 million.
So it's probably not going to happen.
No.
But the potential for it to happen, I guess, is there. And I like the idea of the challenges, and because I still like, even though I haven't watched Survivor in 20 years,
Right.
I still like the idea of people competing like that,
Yeah,
you
me
know? So the competitive pot grows each episode with the last player standing facing the banker for a record-breaking prize. So I'm assuming that's how it plays
And
out.
Joe Manganiello is the host.
He's the host?
Yeah.
Joe Manganiello? All right.
When you put this much money up for grabs, though, you really do run the
Of
risk
someone killing some.
Yes.
Yeah.
I killed them all.
Someone killing some.
I killed them. I killed them all. and I'm coming for you.
I never really
This
thought about
really
that.
got out of hand. We should not have let Rambo play.
But think of the ratings.
What you want?
$200 million.
What's behind door number 1?
All right, movies are opening this weekend. All right, Red One, a holiday action comedy starring Dwayne Johnson, J.K. Simmons, and Chris Evans opens. And the plot is as follows. After Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. 2 hours and 2 minutes long. It's rated PG-13, wide theater release. A lot of big names in there. I think it's a 34%.
The New York
score.
Post gave it 0 stars.
At Rotten Tomatoes. And then also opening is A Real Pain. It's comedy, drama, and it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, and Will Sharp. Mismatched cousins David and Benji reunite for a tour through Poland to honor their beloved grandmother. And the adventure takes a turn when the odd couple's odd tensions resurface against the backdrop of their family history. It's an hour and 29 minutes long. It's rated R, a wide theater release, and it gets a great score at 95%.
Yeah, I hear great things about it.
All right, we got clips to play for you. Hippo entails an oddball young man clashing with his prudent stepsister. The dark comedy director, Mark Rappaport, gave his actors a lot of freedom in exploring their characters. And in this clip, he recalls the laid-back process of developing Kimball Farley's character.
We were sort of like, what kind of character do you want to play? And Kimball, I think it's always like, well, I want to play like a kid who loves video games and like thinks that he's a god. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want to direct.
I don't think I want to see it.
Hippo is in theaters now. Here's our next one. The Red One, as we were just mentioning. In the film, a vindictive villain kidnaps Santa Claus, discharging a team of accomplished hunters to locate him in time for Christmas. In this clip, Dwayne Johnson admits that this movie has lots of heart.
It's often an overstatement, I think, in storytelling in Hollywood, but it's true with something like this. I think the idea, and it's one of my favorite parts of the movie where JK as Santa Claus reminds me that it's our job to see the best in people and look at that child, look beyond if they're on the naughty list, look beyond it and look at the kid in everybody.
I don't think I want to see it.
The Red One is released in theaters. All right, and that is what I have in the entertainment report this morning. If you're just tuning in, we have a lot happening today. So you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get a jump on this because we're going to be diving into a number of guests and stuff like that. We have the Great American Smokeout. It is next week. And I would like to add to our list of people who are coming in to get hypnotized by Dr. Rosenberg to try and give up smoking or vaping or whatever it is you're trying to do within that realm for good. And we'll take the first 3 callers who can make it here next Thursday and be available in the morning, 215-263-WMMR. We will put you on the list. We have a conference room that will set you in with Dr. Rosenberg. We'll monitor it with microphones, and we will have him hypnotize you. And hopefully you give up smoking for good.
We've seen it happen. We've seen people walk out of here after the treatment and never smoke again.
Now, if you don't make it through and you're interested in hooking up with Dr. Rosenberg, you mentioned the Preston and Steve show. You can save $100 off your cost on a session, and you can go to quititnow.com. And this applies to weight loss, insomnia, stress, and other things that you are interested in, getting rid of in your life. So make sure you reach out to them, quititnow.com. But we'll take those callers now and we'll put you on our list. We have in our studio this morning actor Jaleel White, who played Stephen Urkel on Family Matters for years, amongst other great things. He's got a book out. He's going to be stopping by roughly an hour from now, so we're looking forward to that. And comedian Alonzo Bodden will be joining us in studio, too. So that means with those guests coming up, we're going to have to get to the Connoisseur next.
Yes.
And we have your chance to win a bunch of stuff. We'll talk food, we'll play some movie clips, and we'll get into this Friday mode. We'll be right back, so make sure that you stay with us, please.
Preston.
More merit-based. It's more,
Well,
that makes sense.
in my case, not so much merit. It's just the fact that I'm gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just the sheer.
I mean, I guess that's merit in its own way.
Yeah,
but I'm just gorgeous. So I've just been very fortunate. Just in terms of my cheekbones, I've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
Jackie Bam Bam, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, there's a little delay, but I'm here. Take a look at this guy. Can you see him?
By the way,
Friday the 13th. Hi, Michael. Whoa.
It's Halloween, and it's Michael Myers.
And then we have a chain-wielding maniac from the Bates Motel, and actually two of them. One of them has a scarecrow mask on. Another one has just a psychotic-looking face. So, Jackie, they look like they're ready to go, man.
Can you smell the gasoline from here? I'm ready to play with some dangerous toys. I'm ready.
He's so into this.
Jackie?
We're going into the house right now.
Okay.
Damn
Now,
it.
we heard that our birthday boy
might be awake, so we have to go with a different tactic.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay, you guys ready, Jackie?
Here we go.
All right.
On 3.
Go ahead.
Okay? Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
There's no one in the bedroom.
Are they in the wrong room? Where did he go? How did he work on it?
Wait.
He was supposed to be here. We had scouts.
Don't drop the F-bomb, please.
There's nobody in the bedroom.
Amazing.
There's absolutely no one in the bedroom.
Go to the bathroom. I think he's taking a piss.
His bed is made.
Let's go in the bathroom. He might be.
Yeah, he'll never see you coming.
Yeah. Oh, my.
I don't think his bed is made. He didn't sleep in that bed last
I
night.
don't even think he's there.
No, he's not.
Look at how confused everyone looks.
Where's our boy at?
I feel bad for the guy.
Preston wants to say hello to you.
Oh, here, hang on. I'll bring up the phone line. Hi.
I am utterly disappointed.
Is this Jimmy?
I don't know how this happened. I'm like shaking here because I'm so angry.
This has never happened before. I can't. Well, we've done enough of these. Eventually, it was bound to happen.
I think it's great.
Well, you know
It's
what?
just
I
typical.
say he doesn't get his chainsaw.
I'm wondering about that too.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they're starting up the chainsaws again, guys.
There's no need to start up the chainsaws again right now. Is there?
No.
Yeah.
I think we can just move on to the next one.
The
Wow.
next cemetery, away we go.
That's fake.
He's fake?
Yeah.
You sure? Michael, be careful, Michael. Happy Halloween. I'm here.
Are you ready?
All right, let's go. Okay. There's a deer head. There's some saws. Oh, this guy's really into horror movies. Now, let's get everybody upstairs.
Up the stairs again.
It's a tight staircase.
Yeah, it is.
There's Jackie's
Did you
ass
see
crack.
Jackie's ass crack?
Yeah.
Tight like the crack of my ass.
Okay, we're gonna go on 3.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah. We're ready.
Ready?
I'm always.
We're gonna go on 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Start him.
Come out now. Happy Halloween. Smiling.
She completely covered herself up.
Chainsaw wake up.
I see that.
Somebody got you.
God damn it, Joe.
God damn it, Joe.
Is that Curry?
Hi.
Hi, Curry.
Good morning.
Is this Carrie?
Yes.
Carrie, say hello to Preston and Steve.
Hi.
Hey, Curry. Good morning. How are you?
She can't hear with the chainsaw.
Hey, Curry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, this is courtesy of
my fire
Steve.
alarm?
He wanted, I think. Yeah. Oh my God, that's right. They have gasoline operated devices. It's probably setting off your. It's okay. There's no real fire. Just gas fumes. You'll be okay.
Hey, Kathy's asking if she has clothes on. Do you have clothes on? Are you? There you go.
Hi, honey.
Curry, do you have clothes on?
No, I don't.
Well, that ought to teach you.
I seriously have a whole shit ton of people in my
A whole lot of people.
Try not to drop any curse words. We're live on the radio right now.
Well, not now, dick face.
My boyfriend just took the battery out of the fire alarm. Here.
Okay.
Very good.
Remember to replace it.
Yes.
That would be nice. The room's a mess.
That would have ruined it.
If I cleaned up the mess.
Yeah. So apparently you're a big.
She's half naked. The other roommate just came downstairs. Hi, y'all.
Not half. She's fully naked.
Say hi to Preston and Steve.
Okay. I gotta bring the audio down because they're cursing way too much.
She's the unhappy roommate.
She looks like the unhappy roommate. So listen, Curry, this was courtesy of Steve. He says that you guys, both you and Colleen, are big horror fans. So we thought this would be a fun way to get you up on Halloween morning. Do you agree?
Yeah. Now the shock's worn off, this is pretty funny.
All right, cool. And to fellow horror fans, have a great day today and put some clothes on.
And then I have one last story. That's it.
Man, this is we left high and dry now.
Ray Donovan alum Paula Malcolmson and Da Vinci's Demons Blake Ritson are joining Sci-Fi's Superman prequel called Krypton.
Really?
Yes.
This is interesting.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I knew you would find it interesting.
You finished strong.
Which is set to premiere in 2018. The show will be set 2 generations before the destruction of Superman's home planet and will follow his grandfather as he fights to save his House of El from chaos.
What if Superman's grandfather, though, was just an accountant on Krypton?
Okay.
Not as exciting.
No.
Here's some deductions you probably had not considered.
Episode 1.
Yeah. You have to do estate planning. Right. You have to. You can never know. Look, the planet could blow up. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the planet could blow up someday. Right, crazy. I know, crazy talk. Blah, 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 blah. And here you are, and then the planet blows up, and we don't, things go awry. It happens.
I wonder what his name is. Kal-El.
Sal.
Maybe he's Mel-El.
Sal-El.
Sal-El. Krypton, CPA.
Thanks for having me over today, folks. This will take about an hour. I have some documents for you to sign.
No, but I never wanted to get a trampoline once I had kids. I'm like, I don't think so.
Well, you hear too many stories.
Too much liability, too.
Yeah. Oh, the neighbors? Oh, yes.
Everywhere I lived, there was always at least one in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you could just go use theirs.
But these places sound, because it's not just the floor,
great.
It's the walls.
Well, you jump from trampoline to trampoline, and they've got padding in between them. And then, yes, they have some, Steve, that are at an angle.
Yeah.
Now, they have very specific rules about what you can and can't do.
Okay.
As far as, and there are little videos that are running that you can't, do flips off of the ones that are off of the.
Oh, you can't?
I'm pretty sure. Kathy, did they have like a video running? I'm thinking of Sky High, they have it.
Yes. No, they had something when we were waiting in line for the obstacle course. They had a video running.
Because I was so bummed that I couldn't, because I went to the Sky Zone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't use that one. I was like, all right, we'll start it here at the foam pit, and then I'm going to go over to that one where they have trampoline walls. And I never got to do the trampoline walls.
Here I go.
I need to go back there because when I what's that place called? Get High?
Get Air.
Ricochet.
Get high.
That's a different part.
Get High are open Monday through Wednesday, noon to midnight.
Get high.
Because I went there to pick my son up from a birthday party, and I ended up jumping a little bit just, because it was the end of the night. Everybody was kind of getting their shoes on. So, I had to.
You went for a jump.
I had to impress the kids.
Gonna go for a quick jump.
Look at this fat guy jump.
Somebody's texting in next mixer, trampoline park.
I think so.
That would be cool.
Party or something
we can
like
all
that.
leave with sprained ankles and hurt backs.
And another potential to hurt ourselves, I want to have a roller skating party sometime.
Yes.
That's been,
you
has to
gotta do that.
happen.
It has to. Can I wear a helmet, though?
Yeah.
All right. You're not going to make fun of me?
Well, of course I am.
I need like wrist guards.
Casey, I've been when we do the river rink ice skating. Casey always wears a helmet to that, and I just find it funny because it's nothing but kids and one adult skating around with a helmet on.
I want a roller skate.
An inspiring story from Touchstone.
Oh no,
he wasn't like the other children.
Oh dude,
he was a full-grown man with his own children. The story of Helmet.
with his own children.
We're gonna call you Helmet. I'm got a helmet on because I like to roller skate. Daddy daughter night. Wait a second, you have children? Dear God.
Dear God.
I just,
you feel safer.
I feel safer. I don't.
I ride a helmet when I ride a bike. I wear a helmet.
I ride a helmet when I wear a bike.
It doesn't go very fast, but it's totally safe.
Look at this idiot. The other way around. Put the helmet on and ride the bike.
What you riding there?
It's an inspiring story, huh?
Inspiring story of a child who sought to be different. I'm gonna ride my helmet and wear a bike. You're gonna look like a jerk. Yeah, you're gonna look like an idiot.
I don't care.
Hello, this is the Olympic Committee. We're interested in this new sport you've come up with.
Yes, it's time to find out who the biggest dick in the Delaware Valley is. We actually, you know what? Hats off to Casey Boy because it was his idea and to search for the biggest dick in the Delaware Valley. And it's just you're given this name at birth, Richard, and either your parents. Either they thought it would be funny or they don't realize or, you know what I mean?
I want to find out the reasons because I do agree. And listen, technically it's a fine name. However, I know parents go through the arduous process of, okay, what are kids going to do with this?
Right.
What are they going to do with this? And Richard obviously will become Dick.
So, you ready, Dr. Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's bring in the dicks. We're going to start with, we're going to go with the longest first. Dear God.
Yes, now we're talking.
He is huge. All right, so we've kept these guys separated. Do you still get Snickers at your name?
WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kat. Not only Jaleel White, but one of our favorites, Alonzo Bodden, is going to be stopped by this morning. He's great. Too. He's going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club. What?
Alonzo just... he doesn't make an effort, and he's funny.
Yes.
There's something like really laid back that just makes me laugh automatically. He's one of my favorite comedians.
Yep. So we'll spend a little time with him in the 9 o'clock hour.
I was with Meredith last night, PR for Helium Comedy Club, and that is where he is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, just make sure. She was like, okay, well, yeah. She's like, well, I have to leave early. I'll be up early because we have to stop and get caught. Like, he has like a little routine before he comes in, so she has to make sure she has enough time for that.
Excellent. All right, so while we have those other things going on, we are in a Friday mode, so let's do the Connoisseur, man. We ready?
It's time for the Connoisseur. All the food you love to eat in one little radio segment.
I love it.
Do you have your bell?
I got my bell.
Bring it!
All right. We'll do the first order. We'll play some clips as well. We do have clips this morning, right, Marissa? Okay. And we'll give away some goodies. But we're going to start with this one. I saw this story. This is from Uber Eats, and they have dove into their information to find out what they revealed the customers' weirdest food cravings.
Weirdest food cravings.
Yeah, so this is their 6th annual cravings report.
All right, I'm curious.
And they have the most popular, most unusual, and unique delivery orders that they've received over the last year. So what are people having delivered to their homes? When it comes to groceries... And this we'll start with the non-unusual stuff.
Right.
So when it comes to groceries, number one selling item. What would you think did you order from a grocery store?
Number one selling item from a grocery store.
I wouldn't guess this, but it's something I buy every Sunday without fail.
Bananas.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well done, Kathy. Yeah, so bananas are the number one selling item when it comes to groceries for Uber Eats.
That's why I would not have thought bananas.
But I think, I got to pick my own bananas.
You got your bananas, man.
It's very...
Can you trust someone with your bananas?
Me personally, no way. No,
Would
it has to have the specific amount of green and the right size and number of bananas per bunch.
What if they allowed you the opportunity to interview your banana selector?
That I'd be okay with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you really do need to know the life of a banana, right? If you're going to be the banana picker. But like, I've been making these protein muffins a lot lately, and I've been putting bananas in them.
Yep.
So I don't even care anymore because the more overripe they are, the better they are for the
So you can be cavalier.
I can.
Yeah.
The sweeter they are. Carpe banana, man.
Yeah, overripe bananas are great for banana bread, for example. I have a Friday banana, but it's really more of a Thursday banana. But I'll be all right with this one today.
That looks. You mean you should have eaten it on
Should have
Thursday?
eaten it
Yes.
yesterday, but it's all right.
Had the same issue today.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
How do you go on living?
Yeah, we'll make it through.
You carry on.
But I was going to say, Preston, is there any produce that you're not?
Nick is pointing with his banana.
That's his pointer banana.
Not all right with selecting on your own. Because for me, like I'll take any groceries delivered except for produce. I feel like when I'm going through the produce section, I really want to make sure that it's the way that I like it.
I mean, some things like maybe root vegetables like potatoes and onions and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about ripeness. But when it comes to tomatoes, avocados, I mean, come on, I got to choose that myself.
So for me, it would be like watermelon or even my Acme parfaits.
Melons, pears, peaches, things like that. All you have to pick on your own. Apples are pretty good.
Yeah.
I get the blueberry and strawberry parfaits from Acme. I have to be able to see blueberries pressed against the outside of the cup to let me know that there is a high blueberry quotient.
Right. I also, when it comes to milk, because when you go to the milk section, you'll have like 3 different expiration dates.
Oh, I didn't even look at that.
Do you ever pre-taste?
No. But so if somebody's shopping for me, they're just going to grab a jug.
Oh, same with bread, right?
Yeah. I'm like, this. So for instance, when I went to my Acme, I got the milk that expired on the 21st because the other ones were before that. I'm like, I need one with a longer lifespan.
Yeah, I'm the annoying person that you're like, excuse me, can we get through? Because I'm digging to the back of the, to try to find the oldest expiration date.
Yeah, I never even look at it.
The milk chick.
Rochelle does that. But no. Okay, so the number one non-food delivery is roses. So that's the number one flower delivered by, or I guess not
really?
Number one flower.
I'm all over the place, man. I wouldn't have got any of these.
So the top 5 most ordered items through Uber Eats are, and this is not just from the grocery store, but food overall. Number 5, waffle fries. Number 4, chicken sandwich. Number 3, chicken nuggets. Number 2, French fries. And the number 1 most ordered item, never would have guessed this, burrito bowl.
Burrito bowl?
Oh.
What?
That's got to be a lot of Chipotle, I would think.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so the most unique food combinations include orange creamsicle and tahine.
Oh, all right.
Pepperoni pizza and anchovies. Fried fish sticks and green tea.
That's weird.
Fajitas and French onion soup. And how about this one? Scallops and boiled eggs.
What the heck? Are
Isn't
these
that
all
weird?
pregnancy cravings?
These are the most unique food combinations. And then you have finally in this report the most unique non-food combos. So here we go. And these are really off the wall. Number 5 is Fujifilm Mini Instant Film and Oral-B Soft Toothbrush.
Okay.
Number 4 is Opie Black Onyx Nail Lacquer and Old Spice Men's Swagger number 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner.
All right.
Number 3 is Nature's Miracle Advanced Platinum Cat Scratch Deterrent Spray plus Purina 1 Plus Health Kitten Dry Cat Food. This is not even real food.
No,
I mean,
I don't get it. This list
unique
is all over the
non-food combos.
There we go. All right.
And then you have the gray mesh laundry bag and hydrocolloid acne pimple patch. And then the number 1 most unique non-food combination is Oxbow chinchilla food.
Oxbow chinchilla food.
And Zupreme Pure Funbird food for parrots.
So, Funbird. You're a good fun bird.
Pretty bird.
When you order food from this, obviously the store puts it together and they will put the bags up in front, usually like a rack where they come select from, correct?
Yes, I guess
so somebody becomes your personal shopper then at the store.
Oh, I see them all the time.
Yeah.
Shopping. And they're not, if you have a question, I don't think they're really the people to ask. Like I see people asking them all, hey, do you know where I can find? And depending on who you get. Sometimes they're like, sure, let me show you. And
Yeah.
other times they're like, no, I'm shopping for somebody else.
Yes. All right, so that was an interesting study. By the way, Nick, Pretty Bird was from My Blue Heaven, right?
I was doing Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty bird.
Pretty Bird.
All right, let's play a clip and see if you know what movie this food clip is from. Here we go.
Uh-oh. It's the weasels. This way. We'll take Gingerbread Lane.
No! Gingerbread Lane's this way.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know. Next order up in the Connoisseur. This one we teased about yesterday, but I'm going to give the full rundown now. There will soon be a couple more reasons to arrive early at the airport as new local vendors join the ranks of Bodden, Maryland, Sabrina's, La Colombe, Elixir Coffee, and Jim's South Street famous cheesesteaks at PHL. So here are two new things we can expect at the airport down the road, and I'll give you the dates on this, but legendary Oyster House and the expanding Federal Donuts and Chicken.
Oh, they'll do well.
At the airport. With their arrival in spring of 2025, the BC connector, that part in between the two terminals, will look even more like the streets of Center City. So over the past several years, Marketplace PHL, the developer and landlord for shops and restaurants at the airport, has built out a sizable roster of local fare. They're trying to really incorporate a more Philadelphia vibe
for the experience. I like
as far
that.
as food goes.
Yeah.
Wait, but you said La Colombe. That's new? I feel like they've been
No.
around
This
forever.
is it will join
Along with.
It will join the ranks
Oh, got it,
of
okay.
La Colombe and all the other ones that I mentioned. So
Yeah, we were there headed to Clearwater. The guy that I guess he was manager of La Colombe. He was a big fan of the show. I wish I could remember his name.
both Federal Donuts and Oyster House will exist under the airport's Founded in Philly umbrella.
I like this whole concept,
which was established this past year and more than ever before follows through on its goal that PHL should mimic travelers' experiences in the city itself. So the restaurants are working with Atlanta-based Jackmont Hospitality, the food service company that brought Elixir Coffee to PHL earlier this year, replacing a Starbucks.
Jackmont is a division of Crapmont Stank.
Okay, Jackmont and Crapmont Stank Hospitality, the same company that operates One Flew South Atlanta International Airport's fine dining restaurant, which has twice been nominated for the James Beard Foundation Awards and is the only airport restaurant to have achieved this, by the way.
All right, I have a question when you're done with this.
So demolition has begun for both restaurants. All right, your question?
How often will you find yourself eating a full sit-down meal in an airport?
From time to time, which is why I found one of these locations interesting, because there was a place. One of these places replacing a joint that I have sat down and had lunch or dinner at the airport. It depends. Like, so today, I'm flying today.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the airport in plenty of time.
Right.
And so I might do a sit-down lunch. I don't know.
I virtually never. Yeah, well, I'll get a muffin. I'll get like a thing of yogurt, but I
sit.
Right, prior to a flight, I don't want to have a big meal. Or I assume, I mean, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, sure. I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can get stuck on a plane.
Yeah, you don't want to.
And,
I know.
You know, at the gate, and I've sat at the gate for an hour waiting to get off of a plane. So I
want to make boo-boos.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, see, I don't think about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't
I
think
don't
about
have to
that
do
at
that.
all.
I feel like even if I tried, like I'm always rushed. And I said this the other day.
Yes,
I don't get to the airport. I get there in plenty of time to make my flight. I'm not late, but I don't get there like way early. So to sit down and eat, I don't ever have enough time for that. So I'm just grabbing something quick.
But you and I are, I think, on the same. Get there early.
So, like an example today, the only flight I could get leaves at 2. I'm going to get there like 2.5 hours early.
Yeah.
I got time. So I'm gonna have some cocktails.
You're gonna have cocktails.
Yeah.
See, that's what I leave time for.
Florida!
It's at least a cocktail.
I assume you're not checking any bags?
Nope.
All right, so here's my issue with eating in a restaurant in the airport. There's really no place to put any of your carry-on stuff.
Yeah.
And so especially if like you're pulling one of the suitcases or whatever, they just need to make a little bit more accommodation for people with their carry-on stuff, because more and more people don't want to check bags at all because they get lost. And I'm with you, Preston. I like getting there a little early and having a meal, but there's never any place to put your stuff.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. I hear the announcements always suggest you just leaving your luggage someplace.
Yeah, somebody will watch it for you.
Right, yeah.
Usually, like, hand it over to a stranger for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I probably shouldn't give this idea away because I could go into airports and redo all of their bar areas. But if you're sitting at the bar or a table, like you said, Nick, it needs like almost like a little cubby that you slide your luggage into.
Yes.
That's like at your feet, so that
sell
no one
that.
can grab it or.
Yeah. All right. So Federal Donuts is going to take the place of PHL Flavors, which had supplanted Pinkberry. After its pandemic closure.
That's is that Frogan? Frogan.
It's Frogan
It's Frogan yogurt.
Yozer.
Frogan
yogurt.
Frogan Yozer.
Frogan Yozer.
That Frogan Yozer.
The menu is being finalized, but it will feature most of its current offerings, including, of course, donuts and fried chicken. And then Oyster House will occupy the former location of Legal Seafood. So that's where I've sat.
You'd be a Legal Seafood dude. I think Federal is going to do quite well.
So this is Oyster House.
I like Federal oysters.
They're taking the place of Legal Seafood, which closed in 2020. They'll also take over a small adjacent flower shop. The airport location will have a similar menu to Center City's Oyster House with a glass-encased raw bar, along with concourse and craft cocktail program. Now, see, I would be hesitant
to get seafood.
Not seafood.
Okay.
I would be hesitant on getting like oysters.
Okay.
At an airport.
What about blowfish? Would you?
Bring it on. Why not?
Always have the lasagna.
All right, let's see if someone can identify this clip, and we'll play it now. Here we go.
Uh-oh. It's the weasels. This way. We'll take Gingerbread Lane.
No! Gingerbread Lane's this way.
All right, we'll go to the phone, see if you know what movie it's from. I have Will on. Hi, Will. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Sorry to bother you guys at work.
It's all right, buddy. What movie is that from?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That's correct. Absolutely. Hang on, Will. Here's what we have for you, bud.
All right. Will, you have won yourself a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery. It's this week's big friggin' deal. You can get a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery in Malvern for just $25. You can enjoy delicious food, expertly brewed beers, and unwind with friends at Locust Lane. Get this offer while supplies last at WMMR.com/deals.
Marissa has created a theme for our clips this morning. We'll see if you can pick up on it here, and I'll explain the connection. This is the next clip.
Gingerbread men have a gingerbread sound. We found.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Gingerbread.
Yes.
Is the theme, and that's in conjunction with the Gingerbread Blast milkshake.
Which I could really go for one right
At
now.
Nifty 50s, and proceeds go to Camp Out for Hunger. We created this recipe, so make sure you go check it out. You will not be disappointed. All right, order up. All right, this is interesting, and it's a story of a woman. It's not necessarily a restaurant, but it's got a food element to it. So a woman named Tawny Beck, a mother of two, has already prepared most of her Christmas dishes right now, spending $40 and a few hours in the kitchen to get everything ready. Yeah.
Is she freezing them?
Yeah, I was just going to say freezing.
Yep,
Okay.
that is correct.
I know somebody who does that. Does it a lot. Like she will
Like
cook,
a month in advance?
will cook way in advance and freeze it. And she's like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It will be perfectly fine.
All right. From your point of view, as the chef on the show.
Are you talking to me?
Though you can follow up. Your expertise, you'd be my second opinion.
Oh, right, okay.
Do things suffer after being frozen?
Not necessarily.
The taste.
I find them better to be fresh a little bit, but I don't freeze things much at all. The freezer, other than ice cream, is kind of it's a wasteland to me. We'll put stuff in the freezer, and then 3 years later, we realized we had put that in the freezer. I just never go in
What's
there.
this duck?
It's on my dad's dead duck.
Okay, Steve, as your number two,
Right,
I'm going to
yes.
answer your question. For anything that I do cook or bake, I don't do it a lot, but obviously we have to eat.
Sure.
So I always feel like it needs to be fresh. Like
That's what I think.
even like a leftover
Yeah.
in the refrigerator or frozen. Like so the person I was talking about, she does Christmas cookies and she will freeze them and then she'll pull them out for like whatever party she needs to go to, and she swears that they're fresh. Like I almost needed to like come out of the oven, put it on the plate, and go to the party.
I kind of love that. But though my mother years ago, our freezer was filled with frozen holiday cookies.
Okay.
She'd do it in preparation. That was her thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they tasted
They were
good.
fine.
I think cookies are okay to freeze. I think the cookie dough's okay. So she said Christmas should be a relaxing time for all, including the host. This year, she's stored a variety of dishes in her freezer, including roast potatoes, red cabbage with apple, parsnips, and even waffles for Christmas morning, allowing her to enjoy a stress-free holiday without being stuck in the kitchen.
That's a big issue.
Not a bad idea.
That's one of the things also, is that when you plan for a party, if one or both of you are just stuck in the kitchen, then you're not enjoying it.
Right.
She also said it's a money I'm sorry to interrupt, Casey. Yeah. It's a money-saving effort as she estimates that her early preparation cuts her Christmas costs by half, saving her around $6,000 over the past 7 years.
I was going to say per meal.
No, because the prices will run up as we get closer to the holidays, and she's saving money by doing
it does
it
make
now.
sense, yeah.
Steve, so I've taken over the Thanksgiving dinner.
You're the chef?
I'm the guy now.
Wow.
And but I don't feel like I am stuck in the kitchen because I feel like it's more of a communal thing. Like more people are
They come in and hang out?
We're hanging out,
Right.
and I'm doing these things as we're all hanging out. I mean, I'm not like sequestered into a kitchen like all by myself. That would suck.
Are
right?
you like Jamie Lee Curtis in The Bear?
No, a couple of ticks down from that.
God.
A couple of ticks down from that. But I mean, it can be, Preston, because you've been doing this for years. It's like all about like timing things out.
Oh, most definitely. And that just takes practice. You just have to do it before you figure it out.
And I saw something on Instagram this week about, preparing your Thanksgiving leftovers. The board. No, so when you're doing, because I think we all love the Gobbler and the Pilgrim and So, but it was doing that in a pie. You take all your leftovers and
Like
you
a turkey dinner pie?
A turkey dinner
I'm
pie.
listening.
Yeah,
Make
I
it
know.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can almost make like a pot pie out of that. A chicken
Who brought
pot
that
pie.
Who brought them turkey sandwiches yesterday? Marissa.
Man, those were pork sandwiches. Good Lord, those are the best pork sandwiches I've ever had.
Yeah,
ever.
I had the pork, and then I also for dinner
had the meatloaf.
I had the turkey.
What was the name of the restaurant?
It's called Porco's. It's a sandwich shop on the corner of 22nd and Washington.
Man, they were good.
And then they have it's like a sandwich shop and bakery, and then they have a spot across the street called Breezy's.
And Porco's?
Porco's.
Wow.
Porcco.
Man, it had mine had truffled goat cheese on it. It was out of this world. All right, anyhow, moving on. Make your stuff in advance. Let's see if you can identify what movie this clip is from.
Gingerbread men have a gingerbread sound. We found.
All right, let's go to Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, buddy. Do you know what movie that's from?
Is that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
You get a penis whistle on that.
That is correct. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and here's what we have for you.
For you, Andy, you have a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery. It's this week's big friggin' deal. You can get a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery in Malvern for just $25. You can enjoy delicious food, expertly brewed beers, and unwind with friends at Locust Lane. You can get this offer while supplies last at WMMR.com/deals.
If you're just tuning in, we are doing the Connoisseur segment. And it's time for the fast food roundup. A couple of stories have to do with fast food. We're going to start with this one. Casey, Chipotle.
Yes!
You talk about it all the time.
All the time.
They announced that they are re-releasing 3 popular items as part of their holiday merchandise collection, available individually or as a bundle at ChipotleGoods.com. The items include cilantro soap.
Wow.
My wife would vomit if she used that. A lemonade-scented water cup candle, and a car napkin holder.
A car napkin holder for holding napkins in your car.
In your car. So Chipotle Rewards members have a chance to win a bundle through a sweepstakes entry on Chipotle's app or website. As added bonus, customers who buy $40 more in holiday-themed gift cards will receive a buy-one, get-one entree offer while supplies last.
So they're not going to do their burrito in a manger?
No, not this year. KFC has filed a lawsuit against Church's Texas Chicken, claiming that its use of the term original recipe in advertising infringes on KFC's trademark and could mislead customers into thinking that Church's products are associated with KFC.
So what the claim was is that it was Church's original recipe.
Correct. So the lawsuit filed in Texas argues that Church's recent marketing of a rejuvenated 1952 recipe conflicts with KFC's long-standing brand identity. This legal action comes as KFC faces declining sales in a highly competitive quick-service chicken market. where it has held the original recipe trademark since 1984.
So growing up on Long Island, there was a Church's chicken that was legendary. Then the old thing would be that if you wanted to have someone killed, send them to go get some chicken at Church's Chicken. It was a horrible area.
One last story. Burger King is offering 1 million $1 Whoppers to rewards members starting this week as a thank you for participating in the $1 Million Whopper contest.
I am a Whopper fan.
Where fans submitted their ideal Whopper creations out of over 1 million entries. 3 fan-designed Whoppers were selected as finalists, and they will be available nationwide for tasting and voting. It started yesterday, by the way. The finalists include the Fried Pickle Ranch Whopper, the Maple Bourbon Barbecue Whopper, and Mexican Street Corn Whopper.
You know what I think is an unsung hero of the fast food menus of all these restaurants? The Whopper Jr.
I love the Whopper Jr. Yep. And you can scan the QR code on the burger's wrapper. All right, let's see. Did we not play another clip?
We did not.
Oh, my God.
Holy
That's my
hell.
fault. All right, here we go.
Chief Grizzly, are the suspects inside connected with the Goody Bandit?
No, don't print that, Maxine. We don't know anything yet.
Is the house made of gingerbread, sir?
I don't think so.
Do bears eat gingerbread?
All right. That's enough with the question.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know what movie that is from. We are running out of time. So let's go to our next story. So, buyer beware, your salmon might be lying to you. In a study published, researchers have found evidence that these products are regularly mislabeled as wild salmon when they're actually farmed salmon, which might be especially costly for customers at sushi restaurants. So salmon and seafood mislabeling has been a known issue for a while, so much so that the state of Washington, where the salmon industry is especially important, passed a law in 2013 intended to reduce it and other kinds of fish fraud.
So salmon is my main protein. I love it. The notion used to make me want to vomit that I'd have any kind of fish that I ate regularly. But I notice, and you've had stories about this, where certain places will substitute a similar fish, hoping you don't realize it's not salmon.
Well, this is just a farm raised versus the wild caught salmon.
Free range.
Tracy Delgado, a professor of biology at Seattle Pacific University, had read past studies on the topic and knew about the law in 2013, decided to have students take a look at and investigate whether things had gotten better since then. And they collected and analyzed data, the DNA of salmon samples from 67 grocery stores and 52 sushi restaurants. All told, 18% of the samples were mislabeled.
Is there a vast taste difference?
I'm not sure, but there's a vast price difference.
There we go.
That's what the issue is.
Liars.
So they're charging wild caught for
lab grown.
Yeah, about a third of the samples from restaurants were wrongly labeled wild salmon instead of farmed. At the costs of salmon mislabeling at sushi restaurants are almost certainly being passed down to customers, since some people will end up paying more for wild salmon that should actually be cheaper farmed salmon.
Yeah, I don't know why it bothers me when this stuff happens, but it really does. The same thing happens with like organic products or wild free range chicken eggs or whatever. Like people, there's very little regulatory agencies when it comes to labeling this kind of stuff. So people will just, I think they call it greenwashing. That it sounds better for the environment.
Yeah.
They'll just put it on the label and they sell it as a result, and they upcharge. But it's just BS. It's there's no actual basis in what they're selling.
Yep. So they're working on figuring out a way to make that happen. Just a heads up that it could be happening. All right, let's see if you know what movie this is from.
Chief Grizzly, are the suspects inside connected with the Goody Bandit?
No, don't print that, Maxine. We don't know anything yet.
Is the house made of gingerbread, sir?
I don't think so.
Do bears eat gingerbread?
All right. That's enough with the question.
All right, gingerbread clips in conjunction with our Nifty 50s Gingerbread Blast Shake, which benefits Camp Out for Hunger. We're going to go to Vincent to try to get an answer. Vincent. Oh, my God. Play that again. One more time.
Vincent.
That's from Pulp Fiction. That's awesome. All right, Vincent, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, buddy, what movie was that from?
Hoodwink.
Yes.
Wow, well done.
All right, here's what we have for you, Vincent.
Vincent.
You won a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery. It's this week's big freaking deal. You can get a $50 gift card to Locust Lane Craft Brewery in Malvern For just $25, you can enjoy delicious food, expertly brewed beers, and unwind with friends at Locust Lane. Get this offer while supplies last at WMMR.com/deals.
All right, one more. I know we're already running late, but I want to do one more. Let's play this last clip and see if you know what movie this is from.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. You're a monster.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Last order up. And I'm going to end today, since we're making this a quick one, with a kitchen hack.
Oh, really? Okay.
And that is it. And it's nothing magical, but it will help you in the long run if you do not know that. If you buy fresh herbs and then you realize the next day they've been ruined, or after a day or two, you've used them already, you have some left over, and then they sit and they just kind of fall apart and you've wasted your money on your herbs. So you can keep herbs like parsley and cilantro bright with a simple storage tip. You trim the stems, place them in a small glass of water, and then you place a plastic bag, like the one you got at the grocer, over the top, and secure it by tying the plastic in a knot or wrapping it with kitchen twine. And then you can put it in the fridge or on the counter, and it will last up for 2 weeks. No kidding.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can find more tips for storing fresh herbs online, and I guess it depends on the herb, exactly what type you're using. But I know that we will do that with basil pretty regularly at home. We'll stick that in a glass of water. You can also do that with asparagus.
Really?
If you take that and you put it the base in a glass of water.
You have to put it in the fridge?
No, you don't have to put it in the fridge.
Does that work for raw chicken?
It works for raw chicken.
It does?
No.
Okay.
But there are a couple different tricks that you can do with water to help keep some organic things around for a little while longer. So just a little.
You learn stuff.
Little hack, little tip for you there. All right, let's see if you know what movie this clip is from.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. You're a monster.
All right, we'll go to Gina. Try to get the answer. Hi, Gina. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Shout out to the YouTubers.
All right, Gina, name the movie.
Shrek.
That is correct. Yes, hang on, Gina. We got a prize for you.
Damn, Gina, you just won a 4-pack of tickets to California Dreamin'. This is a performance by the No Name Pops, spotlighting songwriters of the 1960s and 70s, including the Mamas and the Papas, the Eagles, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, and more. Tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
And tomorrow, that would be Saturday, November 16th at 3 p.m. at the Kimmel Center. And you can find tickets at nonamepops.org.
And that's it for the Connoisseur this Friday morning. So hopefully you got something out of that. All right, we're going to take a break. We have the Bizarre File coming up. And then right after that, Jaleel White will be in our studio this morning talking about his book, Growing Up Urkel. We'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
College. We were getting drunk, coming down the steps, and some guy was coming up with his girlfriend. So he yells with his girlfriend. He goes, "Yo, big dick." I never heard it before. I grabbed him, threw him up against the railing. I said, "Yo, I thought I told you not to tell nobody."
That's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Dick is here for the length, the height version. So we're going to measure your height. How tall does that thing go, Dr. Mike? Is it over 7 feet? All right, let's bring in the next Dick. We have a very big Dick coming in here.
Yes.
This is Dick Super. Dick Super.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
Super Dick in the house.
Nice. See, I told you guys I had a friend named in high school. His name was Dave Super. His dad's name was Dick.
Oh, you're right. That is actually a great name.
Come on, Super. I mean, it's been the best.
It could be great for you.
Where are you from, by the way?
South Jersey.
So let's measure you, and let's see how you stack up against the other Dick. You're going to get some extra because of that hair of yours.
Yeah.
He's a hairy Dick.
Well,
man.
the level will come down right on the...
These sticks are so long, I have to get on a stool.
I noticed.
It's unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, this might be the best looking Dick we have in the studio all day.
It's a good looking Dick?
Yeah.
Marissa, bring in the next Dick, please. This is Dick Steinbeiser.
Dick Steinbeiser.
And it's another biggie, man. Where are you from, sir?
Harleysville.
You haven't seen this guy around town?
I haven't seen that Dick anywhere. Not anywhere in Harleysville. And there's a lot of Dicks in Harleysville.
There are.
Let's get the official number. We're gonna measure you, but we will not reveal. We're not going to reveal what that is until we get all 5 of you measured. So right now we're going for the length.
This Dick has a shaved head, basically. So the
bald Dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
right, well, listen, thank you very much, Richard. We appreciate you can have a seat over here, and we'll get the final results in a moment. Richard or Dick Steinbeiser.
He's a smart dick.
And after Kathy's getting in on it.
See, the one who hates this stuff is now participating.
Please, this is Dick Scholl.
Wow, another.
Yeah, another big one.
Yes.
So we've been asking some questions amongst you Dicks. Does anybody ever call you Dick, or have they throughout your life?
My older brother kept trying to get my oldest nephew to call me Uncle Dick for the first years of my life. That didn't happen, but what did happen, fortunately for him, is that my nephew couldn't pronounce rich, and it came out with a B sound.
He called you bitch?
Yep. That was Uncle Bitch.
Uncle Bitch. All right, Dick, let's get you on the measuring device here.
All right.
And we'll get the official number.
All right, this one went a little faster than the last few measurements. Mike got this one down fast.
Yeah, quick, Dick.
Bring in the final Dick, please.
Another biggie.
Wow. Tell us about your life with the name Richard and being interchangeable with Dick.
It is pretty lackluster, I would probably say. I only really got it in high school. You know, kids on like my sports teams would be like, "Oh, we call you Big Dick now." And
Big Dick's actually, if you're on a team,
right?
It's pretty cool.
It's intimidating, and it's got a little,
it's got a little panache to it.
Absolutely.
I like it. All right, well, let's get you up on the measuring device and let's take a look. By the way, I love all our Dicks.
They're excellent.
They're all great guys.
You guys a big Foo Fighters fans? Got a Foo Fighters shirt on? I'm enjoying the Dick Dale.
Thank you, Dick Dale, and we played Moby Dick, and Dr. Mike just
nearly
fell
bought it
off the chair. Are you okay, Dr. Mike?
Noted TV personality Dr. Mike died in a bizarre dick measuring accident.
Tell you, Preston, in 25 years of practice, these are some of the biggest dicks I've ever seen.
I believe
of course.
it.
You're a medical man. You're a man of science.
It's a miracle of nature.
Yes.
All right, so please, if you could, first give us the number and the name of who our biggest dick in the Delaware Valley is, Nick.
At a whopping 82.5 inches, that's 6 feet, 10.5 inches tall. The biggest dick in the Delaware Valley by length. Our first dick in the studio, Dick Barrett, everybody! Congratulations, Dick!
Come on over here, Dick Barrett.
Get over there. Come on.
6'10" and a half.
Big old dick.
Nick, did you say 6'10" and a half?
I sure did, Preston.
Damn, man. Hey,
almost 7 feet tall.
The moment when you walked in, I'm like, that's a huge dick.
But yet, when the other guys are coming in, I'm like, I'm wondering. You know, I'll be curious to hear the other numbers. But yeah, you are a big dick.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, so we got length out of the way. Time to get to girth. Let's bring in the biggies. We're going to do our first contestant for the biggest dick in the Delaware Valley. Please welcome Dick Zaleski.
Dick Zaleski. Dick, how are you?
You know, your history with the name, and a lot of guys got it in high school.
I had like one guy that thought he was funny in high school that would be like, Rick the Dick. And, but I actually got it from my friends later on that I'm kind of a jerk sometimes.
Okay, so you're sort of a cut up.
Like Rick the Dick, and so
Dick Zaleski, let's get you on the scale here. We're not going to reveal the number at all until we have weighed everyone, and then we will find out who the biggest dick in the Delaware Valley is by girth. By the way, yes, everyone will be even if your name is Rick, you're going by Dick today.
That's fine.
All right, thanks, man. Have a seat. We'll find out how you do. Thanks for being here this morning. Bring in our next Dick. This is Dick L. Coogan.
Yes.
Who we welcome. Coming over here to Nick. Has Dick been a joke from time to time for you, or do people actually call you that?
No, I basically come from a long line of dicks.
Oh, you do?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Are you Dick? Are you Little Dick or Dick Jr.?
I'm Dick the Third, actually.
Dick the Third.
Yeah, so my grandfather, my father, my son.
All right, well, let's have you jump on the scale here. Dr. Mike is going to do the official measuring.
While we have a second, I'd like to apologize to the two Dick Siemens who wanted to come in because they really wanted to be a part of this contest.
Yeah.
But we had enough dicks, you know, and these guys just didn't qualify to be the biggest dicks in the Delaware Valley. But thank you guys for submitting.
We had to cut.
It was father and son named Dick Seaman.
Thank you for coming in this morning. We'll find out if you end up being our winner. As he grabs a seat, that's Dick L. Coogan, by the way. The next Dick, let's welcome Dick Mayberry to the studio. Mr. Mayberry is coming over here. Is there any history of Dicks in your family?
Yeah, I'm the third.
Okay.
My grandfather went by Dick.
Do you get any?
Dicks on the dance floor.
As far as Mayberry, your last name, you get any Andy Griffith throwbacks from that?
No, Dick Dick Maybe Harry I had already.
Dick Maybe Harry.
I like it. Get on the scale, man. Let's see what you come in at. Dick Mayberry. All right.
I want 6 dicks, man.
I was saying sticks.
Sure you were.
Sticks. Let's bring in the next Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dick Schmidt. And we welcome him. Any other Dicks in your family?
My father. My father was another big. He was another big dick.
Another big Dick.
Yeah, about the same size as me.
All right, so we are doing the official measuring. Dr. Mike's going to get his number. He's waiting for the scale to settle. And when he settles on a number, he's got it. You can step back off of there, Dick. And let me see. Who else we have?
Take a look at my face, Dick.
Well, let's bring in Dick Belcastro, our last Dick that we have. Come right over here to Nick, if you would, please. Anybody in your family call you Dick?
Not generally, no. My granddad went by Dick.
Okay.
Dad was Richard. I'm Richard. My brother's Peter.
Peter. There's clearly something going on.
Let's get you on the scale. Let's weigh you. Turn around. Dr. Micah's going to get a number. He's
here
not
we
gonna,
are.
not
Step
gonna,
up.
All right, so how we doing?
Nick,
We've crunched the numbers over here in the entertainment division, and
you can announce our winner, Nick. Give us the number and then our winner, if you would, please, for the biggest girth amongst our dicks.
biggest Dick in the Delaware Valley girth division goes to Dick number 2, Richard Zaleski.
Oh, you're kidding me!
The biggest Dick. 397.6 pounds.
397.
Nearly 400 pounds a dick.
So, actually, he was Dick number 1 I have here on our list, which means both of our first Dicks are our winners. Richard Zaleski, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. He was number 2 on my list, number 1 in the contest.
And
You're right,
number
Preston.
1 in your hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Dick Zaleski!
Yeah!
Police said 2 drivers on 95 were involved in a road rage incident that ended in gunfire Monday evening. It happened just before 5 o'clock while the 2 cars were exiting the highway on Route 413 in Bristol Township. The victim's car had 2 bullet holes from a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun. Police said a man pulled up to the victim's car, told him to lower the window, and when he did, the man pointed a gun into the car.
Let's go.
I bet the shooter was from Delco, though. I mean, we'll see when they get up. We'll find out. One shot pierced the right rear quarter panel of the 2011 silver Hyundai Accent. A second bullet was lodged in the top of the passenger side door, where police said the metal and rubber trim stopped the round from hitting the person in the passenger
So
seat.
it wasn't shooting at the car, shooting at the person in the car.
Police said the driver was aggressive in the moments prior to the shooting. He kept flashing his high beams, and he followed the victim off of the highway, pacing the car, and then stopped at the traffic light with the victim.
Roll down your window. I want to shoot you.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a completely unrelated question, Steve, because just now when you said roll down your window, I want to shoot you, you gestured like this.
Right, yeah.
You took his index finger and did a circling motion.
Still do,
You young people know what that means?
Probably not.
Let me go to Marissa. Hi.
Right, it's so funny.
Does that mean roll your window down to them?
I don't know, but last year, do you guys remember when we talked to Kate Beckinsale? This is like a total stretch. We talked to Kate Beckinsale, and it was the day that Joel Embiid had tweeted at her, like the day before.
Yeah.
Or Instagrammed at her. I pull up on like 19th and Arch, and Joel Embiid is next to me that afternoon. And I look at him, and I like go wide-eyed, and I go, oh my God, roll down your window. And I'm doing the rolling motion, and he looks at me, and he had no idea what I was talking about. He's
Well,
like,
actually, that looks a little bit like manual stimulation.
Marissa, but you had your fist like this doing that.
I'm going to take care of you sexually.
Yes.
Usually people go like this.
Right, roll
with
down
with
your
your
like,
index finger.
No.
It's like this?
It's like, no, not like this.
Wait, I'm sorry. It's like,
That means roll your window.
Roll down your window.
Nothing to do with your mouth.
Wait, Preston. Roll down your
oh,
turn around and show
you'd have to be watching our studio cams right now to get it. Yeah.
Roll down your window.
You guys are so inappropriate right now.
Casey's grabbing his ankles. He has his legs up in the air.
Roll down your window.
You need a whole fist to roll down the window, guys.
Roll down your
Hey, guys. Hang on a second. Let me get
I didn't understand. I wanted you to roll down your window.
There's a Daily Rush video right there.
Where's the dildo? You can smack that on your face. Roll down the window.
Sorry, Marissa.
So he didn't get that?
I think I eventually put down the window a little bit, and I told him, and he kind of smiled and sped away.
Cars, this, if you go like this, a button pushing thing.
Yeah, no one's going to know what that is. Roll down your window.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. All right, moving along.
Arm vaginas.
What does that mean?
Okay.
God, they finally did this.
There has been a slow but steady rise of removal surgery for arm vaginas. It's Friday.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Sponsored by Red Robin, and they got holiday gifts all wrapped. You can give the gift of Yum with a $30 Red Robin holiday gift card and get a $5 bonus back reward for you now through December 31st. Red Robin.
Yum.
There you go. All right, so for weeks, an elderly woman complained to her family about the strange knocking sounds coming from beneath her home late at night. On Thursday, police made a terrifying discovery. The noises were no stray possum or raccoon, but a man reportedly naked and living in the crawl space underneath the woman's home. This was in Los Angeles. The woman's son-in-law, Ricardo, said the noises were usually late at night, so we just chalked it up to animals being under the house. But on Thursday, the sounds were much louder than usual, prompting the family of the 93-year-old woman to phone the police. The LA police responded to the call and discovered a man underneath the house. He refused to emerge from his underground dwelling, and officers called a SWAT team to assess.
I'm not coming out!
An hours-long standoff ensued before the man was taken into custody on suspicion of trespassing. They said he refused to leave. He wasn't scared of the police dogs, and the first two attempts at tear gas didn't fish him out. Police identified the suspect as 27-year-old Isaac Betancourt, and he was found without clothes. Betancourt was arrested by the LAPD at 4:25 a.m. Friday and booked on a misdemeanor charge.
So had he set up a little apartment-like thing?
I don't know.
If he's
I don't
naked, I doubt he had the resource to get furniture.
Yeah, I don't know how permanent the dwelling was for him, but he was under there. So can you imagine sitting down to enjoy a meal only to have your food suddenly soaked with urine? That's exactly what happened to a mother in China's Beijing who shared the unusual incident on social media, leaving users shocked. And now you might wonder why there's so much of a fuss. Well, after all, it's not uncommon for toddlers to have accidents, but what really left people stunned was that the family continued eating the meal.
They ate the piss food?
With urine in it.
Wow.
The incident occurred when her toddler, held by his grandmother beside the dining table, unexpectedly urinated onto the family's breakfast, which included steamed buns, eggs, and vegetables.
No.
The mother proudly captured the moment on camera and later posted it online. The post created quite a buzz, drawing a flood of reaction. Many users expressed disbelief, with one person asking, "So did you guys end up eating the food?" And she wrote, "Yes, we did eat it," and explained that the baby's grandparents didn't mind. So the family carried on with breakfast as usual.
That tastes great.
So in her post, the mother mentioned that the child rarely wears disposable diapers at home as she believes they interfere with natural routines. She said, during the day, we rarely put disposable diapers on him, usually just using a cloth or letting him go bare. We do not cover it because it is better not to interrupt the child while he is urinating.
On your food.
She also took a moment to praise her photography, saying, "Mom's snapshot skills are quite good."
Oh, look at him pooping the gravy boat.
After the mother confirmed that her family had eaten the meal despite it being soaked with urine, and social media users were left in disbelief. Now, in traditional Chinese culture, The urine of young boys is thought to have special powers. It is believed to boost energy, reduce fevers, and even protect against bad luck or spirits.
Really?
Urine from boys under 10 is considered particularly powerful.
It just sounds crazy.
And the strongest is believed to be from the first morning before a boy's 1-month birthday.
Wow.
In southern China, there is even a dish called urine eggs based on this belief. And to make it, urine is collected from young children, usually in schools, and used to boil eggs.
Well, that puts everything in a new light, doesn't it?
This dish is believed to help prevent tiredness in spring and protect against heat stroke in summer.
See, the fear of eating piss-soaked food would keep me alert.
Yes. A seasonal ice skating rink in Milton Keynes, England, has been getting a lot of attention because a bright pink iPhone is stuck underneath 2 inches of ice. Skaters at the Willin on Ice skating rink sometimes stop in the middle of the giant rink to stare at it. It has become something of a tourist attraction after the BBC and other UK media outlets reported about it online. Apparently, one of the workmen setting up the rink this year lost their smartphone and had to borrow their daughter's iPhone for a day, only to forget it in the middle of the ice rink right before it was flooded with water and frozen overnight. The next day, some of his coworkers spotted it while inspecting the ice, but they could do nothing but laugh at the misfortune, as damaging the ice was out of the question. Rob Cook said it wasn't until later the following day that one of the teams spotted the object in the middle of the rink, and on closer inspection, we could see that it was Steve's daughter's iPhone. He said, unfortunately, there's no way that we will be able to get the phone out of the ice now. If we were to dig it out, it would affect the structure of the ice, so it will remain entombed for the next 2 months.
That reminds me of the, what was it, a rat or a squirrel that was in the cement?
Chicago?
Yes, it became a tourist attraction.
It was a rat.
Yeah.
Chipping the iPhone out of the ice would ruin the smooth surface of the rink. Refreezing the entire surface of the ice would be too expensive and time-consuming to even consider. All the forgetful workman could do was tell his daughter the truth and get her a replacement phone until this one can be thawed out. And we'll do one more story, and we will wrap it up. In San Francisco, a man became impaled while climbing a fence Tuesday morning near Highway 101. San Francisco Fire Department and officers responded to reports of a traumatic injury. A man in his 40s had impaled himself somewhere in the groin area while trying to get over a spike-tipped fence.
Oh, my balls!
The heavy rescue team
Clearly hit his balls.
decided to cut the fence rather than remove the man from it. And while they were lowering the man, the cut piece of metal fence fell from the wound. So paramedics wrapped the wound and transported the man to the San Francisco General Hospital.
Because I've heard so many stories like this, the concept of climbing over one of these fences never occurs to me.
Yeah. A neighbor said the man was trying to get to an encampment near the freeway, noting that it wasn't the first time someone had gotten stuck on that fence. The neighbor said they saw the man passing out on the fence and that paramedics hooked him up to IV fluids.
Well, that's the design of the fence is to do that.
Yeah,
You're supposed to keep you from climbing it.
That's what happens if you climb that fence.
Exactly.
All right, and there you go. That is what we have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. I would like to give something away right now, dear Pipples. We have a pair of tickets to see Kevin Hart.
Oh.
The 5th show, Sunday, December 8th at the Met. And we'll take caller number 25 at 215-263-WMMR. It's called the Acting My Age Tour. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. So there was a 5th show that was just added yesterday. We made the announcement, and that show is going to be on Sunday, December 8th. So if you would like to win those tickets, you can be caller number 25, and we will set you up with that. 215-263-WMMR, and of course, you can order them via Ticketmaster. We're going to take a break. When we return, Jaleel White is scheduled to be in our studio. He's got a book out, and we're very much looking forward to speaking to him. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Arm vaginas for replacement vaginas?
No.
How exactly does this work?
This is actually armpit folds within where people have these issues, and they call it the arm vagina.
Oh, I never.
Yep.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit of the laws here.
It's like arm fat. It's like armpit fat that hangs over when you wear like a tube top.
Oh, that looks like a
camel toe. Looks like a camel toe, right?
Just extra like fat and skin. It's not.
There are some though that happen to fall into a very vagina-esque looking flap. And those are the ones you got to correct early.
You got to get rid of that.
You got to get rid of those early. Other ones just look like, hey, they're a little roll of fat and a little, popping fresh. But you never would do that to an arm vagina.
The vagina flap. The surgeries performed vary.
It sounds like a bad 50s dance. Everybody's doing the vagina flap now. Come on, baby, do the vagina flap now. Swing your big arms like you have two vaginas.
Come on, baby, do the vagina flap now.
A little bit of lotion and he'll come right there.
We're done singing?
No, if you want to sing. I can't get that eye.
Yeah.
The surgeries performed vary depending on the cause and extent of an arm vagina.
When they have those drastic weight losses and people, I don't honestly know surgically how they can remove that without it killing the person. You see, like, there was one guy who had, it looked like he was melting how loose his skin was. If they talk about a tummy tuck as being invasive, how the hell do you do that?
They also use mini liposuction and the removal of excess skin. They are popular non-surgical methods.
Can you do the gentleman stitch on those?
Along with injections that are claimed to break down fat.
My chick's arms are so tight. Just saying.
So that's a new one apparently out there. The arm vagina.
My chick's arms are so tight. Just saying.
So that's a new one apparently out there. The arm vagina. This could go along actually with the Connoisseur, believe it or not, because this is
the Custodian, the Connoissorian. He eats old food. Is this fresh?
No, this is the little known history.
The little known history
of fruit roll-ups.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
You guys are all on board now, aren't you?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first fruit roll-up was created by Ivan the Terrible.
No. But it's older than you think.
Is it older than Jesus?
No. The thin sheets of fruit treats known as fruit roll-ups have been a staple of supermarkets since 1983 when General Mills introduced the snack to satisfy the sweet tooth of kids everywhere. But
1983, so the Civil War had just ended.
Right. No, but the fruit roll-up has an origin that goes much further back, all the way to the turn of the 20th century, believe it or not. The small community of Syrian immigrants in New York in the early 1900s didn't have the packaging or the marketing power of General Mills, but they had the novel idea of offering an apricot-sourced fruit leather that they called Emmerdine.
Did you know that Frederick Douglass invented Razzles?
No. Wow.
Razzles.
All right.
That's the candy that becomes a gum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like Razzles?
I do. Yeah. As a kid, I used to like it. I would like, is this Razzle going to be a candy or a gum?
Yeah.
The world was at my feet.
And when it turns into a gum,
too late.
The flavor lasts like
The
10
flavor's
seconds.
pretty much gone.
Right,
yeah. When a trade publication detailed the family's process in the early 1970s, it opened the floodgates for other companies to begin making the distinctive treat. Sunkist was an early player, but when General Mills put their considerable advertising power behind their fruit roll-ups, they became synonymous with the snack.
What's your favorite fruit roll-up flavor?
I always just went for the strawberry, which was kind of the first one that came out.
To me, it sort of tasted like a Twizzler a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I tried like the healthier version of the fruit roll-up, and Jace was like, I don't like these. Can we get those? And it was,
you
the
don't like
traditional
Mommy's kale roll-ups?
It was like a little
They're
more.
actually not that bad.
Are they?
Healthier version.
Are they? I've never had them.
But when you have the original, which, is delicious, he knows the difference now.
Yeah.
Joré is still in business, offering kosher roll-ups that rely more heavily on fruit than the more processed commercial version.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Joré is Superman's father, right?
No, that's Jar-El. But I thought you were going to say Geordi, and he's on Star Trek Next Generation. But the companies have one more important thing in common. They both have the sense not to refer their product as fruit leather anymore.
Yeah, fruit leather would not be as tasty.
But I was not aware of the history.
I always thought it was like a sort of chemical thing that they put together in the 80s, and here it's sort of fruit. Parents will be down with this.
Yep.
You've opened up my eyes, historian.
Thank you. Please welcome Mr. Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
the show.
You were on Big Bang Theory last night, and your character on the show is hilarious. You're a geologist, and a
rock nerd.
A rock nerd, and and I was talking to you off air about that show. And originally when it came on, I was like, I don't know, and then it became clear that there is a strong geek base in the writers' room
for
there,
sure,
because they were getting it all right, and that's what brought me into it.
Yeah, no, there's giant nerds in that writing room. for
Right.
sure. Yeah, there's guys from Futurama and places like that, and they're really smart and very geeky.
Very geeky, and they actually
the cast isn't.
Really? So nobody on the show?
No,
with
because
all
I've
of
been
that-
there a lot, and like the first couple of times we'd be hanging out, and like there was a comic book store actually on the set.
Yeah.
And I'm, looking at everything in there, and I was asking a couple of the guys, I was like, "Do you like this stuff?" They're like, "No, we go to Comic-Con once a year, and that's it." I'm like, "Oh my God!"
They pull it off though. Who's ever writing the, again, you say the writers are geeks, so that makes a difference, but. On that comic book set, and much to my wife's chagrin, I will point to things. I have that piece. I have that piece.
Wow.
She's like, "Oh my God, shut up, nerd."
It's really bad. Yes,
There's a certain way you're supposed to read comics, and I don't know what that is. Are you supposed to look at the picture first? You're supposed to read the dialogue first? Can you do either
I
or?
cannot help you.
But
I've
heard
even
that.
Figure it out.
I've heard that before.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
it's confusing if you first pick it up, but if you start reading a few titles, about where the panels are and where the word bubbles are.
Oh, right, the way the storytelling.
I always find that my eye goes naturally to where it's supposed to go, especially if you're dealing with good writers and good illustrators.
After you read a few,
the normal flow will take you there.
There's some Deadpools I could recommend.
That you wrote.
How many did you write?
Decent. 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your stuff is exceptionally good. I have to tell you, I love what you do with the character, and I know we talked about the first movie, and you were happy with the outcome.
I mean, I keep thinking at some point they're going to use one of our characters, and if they do,
who would you want them to use?
Well, the woman we had, Mary Shiklo, which was, I would think would be a cool wife. It's so nerdy. But
no,
she's the queen of the vampires. And, I just think it would be a good juxtaposition for the character.
It would be very cool, but you know what? And here's the most telling thing is the case can no longer be made that this is just peripheral stuff. This right now, and I mentioned Thor Ragnarok before he came on. This is what is fueling Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other big movies. All the big movies are geeky movies.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, the best ones and the most successful ones are the ones that are deeper and have more meaning and that are characters that are well written. And,
Right.
And I was talking with Nick Murphy, who's he's a fellow nerd too. But these universes that exist beyond the movie, the characters that exist beyond the movie, they make the entire movie more compelling.
Right. And then, like, for me, as I was watching Thor, and they got it so right. Part of my head was exploding because I was like, this is something I've always wanted.
Right.
And no one's ever gotten it right, but these guys are getting it right. Like, whoever's involved at Marvel and,
Well, Kevin Feige?
Yeah, but all the guys. Yeah, Feige. Yeah.
So to deal with this, and because we have been through, we're old enough to remember the failed Thor attempt on the Hulk TV series.
Right.
The guy who was basically like a beach bum, with a horrible plastic-looking hammer, and it was just all the failed attempts. Spider-Man basically rappelling down a building.
Right.
This was stuff they could never pull up. Now, not only are they pulling it off right now, they're nailing it to the original imagery that we loved to begin with.
Well, yeah, it had that Jack Kirby feel, and we're making this so geeky.
Well, speaking of geeky,
I love when I do a nerd voice when I'm being nerdy, like I need to.
Your nerd poker. This has gotten such a buzz. Please explain to people what goes on here.
Well, it's just Dungeons and Dragons, but I've always looked at D&D as like it's just a geeky form of poker because for me and my friends, it's more about the hang than it is the actual game. And that's what a lot of D&D nerds don't like my podcast because we play D&D, but we also mess around. And
it's light and loose.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dudes hanging out in a room.
And is it an ongoing story? I'm sorry, because I don't know. So,
yeah.
So when you guys show up every week, it continues from the week prior.
Yeah, and our dungeon master has to remind us because I have a short attention span, and I've smoked some stuff over the years.
Just a bit. Oh, who surprised you? Who's come out of the woodworks as a D&D
Well, we
fan?
had on our show, we had Joe Manganiello on our show, and
that guy's wild.
My wife was like calling all her friends, like, he's in my living room.
He's Sophia Vergara,
Come on
Magic
over.
Mike, and True Blood.
Yeah. He's super handsome.
Yeah.
Like me, we're all geeks, and we were all looking at him going, he's dreamy. and then he pulled out his box of figures, and he's more into Dungeons and Dragons than anybody I know, than anybody I've ever played with. Like, and Patton Oswalt used to paint his own figures.
Oh my God!
But Manganiello has like this whole, and they're alphabetized and it's super like OCD.
Did you start making fun of him?
I felt pretty cool.
WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kath. Our next guest has a new book out. It is called Growing Up Urkel. I'm so glad he wrote this book.
Yeah.
I can't wait to dive into all of it. Had a chance to sample some of it, but it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, pretty much wherever you get books, you're going to find them. Please welcome. Oh, we have the theme music. The one and only Jaleel White is here.
Before we start, I just have to say,
yes,
Kathy, that was an extremely professional traffic report.
Like that.
To see it, it's different to hear it, guys, out there, but to see it live.
It's amazing.
We've had everyone from Kevin Costner on sitting where you're sitting, and they've all been impressed by the traffic.
Right? It sucked me in like a performance.
Thank you.
As I said, Jaleel, I'm so happy you wrote this book. Been a fan of yours for a long, long time, and I really want to dive into your story. And having taken a peek at a little bit of your life through what I've read in here, it's really interesting. Seems like you had a really cool support group your whole life in your family. And, like I said, I've only touched on a little bit. I got to imagine that's a big theme in this book as well.
No, it's huge. I wanted to answer a lot of questions that have just been asked me, for decades now. And I wanted to give my parents their flowers while they're still here.
You tell a story and about a special Christmas, and as I was hearing this story, it connected to something that happened to me. Your parents are going through. Basically, the gist of it was they hid whatever financial duress or whatever they were going through from you, and you had a special Christmas.
It was my favorite Christmas to this day.
Can you describe that? Because and what was actually going on behind the scenes was, it connected to me amazingly.
I won't tell every tidbit because I want people to really get the stories. Every story that I wrote about myself was really more about trying to connect in a life lesson that you probably have going on. And you will find one in there. But, I was a little boy, and I didn't think I was getting anything for Christmas. And my parents hadn't put anything under the tree. And so I'm waiting. I was like, I don't see one package under the tree. And this particular year, though, they had come up with a ruse with the neighbors down the way, and they had swapped gifts. So they took their kids' gifts and stuck them in our garage. And then those people took my gifts. So I didn't have anything. So I'm literally in tears in my bunk bed, right?
Yeah, bunk bed.
There's a bunk bed, and I'm like 7 years old or something like that. And then my dad comes in the room, and he gives me like midnight, right before midnight. Yeah. My mom will let me open my gifts at midnight, and he gives me some tennis balls, and I'm like, tennis balls. He's like, Merry Christmas, son. Tennis balls. And he just walks out. I'm just like, oh man, thanks, Dad. I'm tears are streaming down my face. Thanks, Dad. And he comes back like 5 minutes later, and he's like, I don't know. I think Santa might have stopped by though. And I go in there, and it was just like it was everything. I mean, it was just like, it looked like a department store.
How magical.
And at the core of the story, though, was I got more stuff than I even put on my list.
Yeah.
Like ways more stuff. But my parents had actually gone through like a terrible bankruptcy. Terrible.
Yeah.
And so so the only thing they thought to do was, well, if we're filing, get him everything.
Wow.
So I had a story.
So I thought we were rich.
Yeah. My father was waiting, the classic Christmas vacations, waiting on a bonus check from work, and we were the poor family on the block. And we went out and he drove around. My mother said, we're going to go out and look at Christmas lights. And what we were actually doing was helping Santa buy the gifts, which we'd never detected in the car. And they went to all those lights. We never knew. Not a clue. Yeah. Your point is that's good parenting. And you've carried that forward with your daughter.
Oh, 100%. But it reshaped your sense of safety.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jaleel, I wanted to ask about you as a kid and your personality before you got onto Family Matters. Yeah. You had to have been an animated, fun kind of to end up in that acting role. You had to have shown that you had this type of personality. And what I'm curious about is before you went on Family Matters, had you already had this kind of Steve Urkel nerdy character that you played around with for fun? No, that wasn't part of.
No, not at all. If
no
anything,
kidding.
If I'd been acting for 9 years though, so I've been acting from 3 years old to 12.
Three.
So I'd done about 50 national commercials. I'd been on the Jeffersons, Mr. Belvedere. I'm talking to some of our older people now.
Yeah.
I'd been on so many guest spots.
You were in that Flip Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. I played Flip Wilson's son on a short-lived series that he did that was called The Cosby Copycat, Charlie and Company.
Yeah.
So I felt like all of those things, unbeknownst to me and my parents, is really what prepared me for Family Matters. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize all those years I was doing the wax on, wax off. And then I jumped in the ring and turned into, the kid.
Did you create that character?
I did. And I did unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I basically was a kid that was doing a Ed Grimley and Pee Wee Herman impersonation.
Okay.
That's a perfect hybrid.
And since I was black, nobody thought that's what I was doing. But those were my direct character references. I had I talk about it in the book, I had a Best of Saturday Night Live VHS tape. And so I stuck it in, and I was like, oh, just kind of act like Ed Grimley and the guy from Revenge of the Nerds. And that was my reference.
And you walked in character.
Yes.
And walked out in character.
Well,
and you'd never done.
I only did that in the callback.
Okay.
Because when I went to the first call, I was the only one who dressed up. And then when I went to the callback, there were two other boys that were dressed up like me, and I was like, oh shit. Can I say that?
No, we got
it. And I'm like, I gotta do something to separate myself from these two guys. And like almost really just out of desperation, I decided that the new producers I would be seeing, I would just introduce myself as the character.
It's amazing how you get the role. You're just a character they're going to bring on, and like one appearance.
Yeah, that's it.
And then and I don't want to give away too much because you do want to. It's rich with a whole bunch of stuff in the book, though. But on that particular taping, there's like a frat in the audience, right? Yeah. And explain what happened, because you want to talk about how life flows along.
No, it's exactly. Yeah. My first taping, I've told the story a million times, but this one doesn't get old. It's a fraternity came to that taping, and they chanted my character's name during all the scenes that I was not in. And the funniest part for me, though, was that when you're a guest star, you don't get to park in the fancy parking spots.
Right.
We parked in the lot with the audience. So I'm walking back with the audience, and all the audiences are high-fiving me and everything. And they're like, man, you were funny, man. And I'm not even realizing that, 72 hours from now, I'm going to be a regular on this show.
It's crazy because, again, we've talked to a number of people who had, a success level of yours at that time, pre-internet, pre-YouTube, pre-social media.
Yeah, man.
And that is a special kind of celebrity that I think it must be hard. So take your biggest YouTube star, take your biggest. They're not instantly rendered incapable of going to a mall without being mobbed or something like that. That's what happened at that time when you got success, correct?
Yeah, what was cool back then was you were the last one to know you were famous.
Huh.
And, we were all watching the same things, at least when something worked. I'm like, we have a similar effect now, but it's different. It's like, I'm sure everybody has seen the Mike Tyson interview with the girl now at this point.
Right, yeah.
So it's like that went viral. Mm-hmm. That used to happen with television shows where everybody would see an episode of something and then start calling each other the next day or whatever. And you didn't really realize how you had impacted somebody until you ended up in New York, until you ended up in Philly, and you ended up in these places. Yeah.
There's you had a couple of catchphrases, but there's one in particular that I think I use in my head a lot, and it's I'm wearing you down.
I'm wearing you down. We had so many of them, man. Did I do that? Obviously stuck the biggest. But in the beginning, it wasn't really more complicated than me just bumping into end tables and saying, excuse me, to an inanimate object.
I recently read, oh my God, I'm blanking. Fonzie. Henry Winkler's autobiography, and it was wonderful. And you talk about a guy who became associated with a character, who had a catchphrase, who couldn't get away from it. And we've also talked to other, Disney stars, and I heard the reference before. I never heard this before. The golden handcuffs, they called it.
Is that what they call them?
That's what these Disney crew that we had spoken to had said. You get this. You're having tremendous success. It's wonderful. What more could you want than success in your field? Yet you can stumble into a catchphrase and a typecast that grabs, and it's hard to shake it. A blessing and a curse in disguise. And in hindsight, if you were to talk to an actor and all of a sudden they get a catchphrase, would you offer them any advice of, now just be aware? Because
really, am I going to give Hawk Tua advice?
That was the first one that came to mind.
There's your catchphrase.
Wow, that's an awkward podcast. That's an awkward podcast. I don't know if it's advice, man. It's a lot more nuanced than that. Like I get it, but the simple advice that I guess I would give somebody is toilet your craft and be patient. Yeah. Everything changes over time. Everything's going to change over time. So, when you look at how things have aged from the 90s, the thing I take most pride in is that everywhere I go, people just give me the warmest reception, and it gets warmer and warmer and warmer.
That's great.
And the millennials have really saved my butt. I mean, they don't even call me Urkel. They call me Jaleel. They're on the Googles. They see everything I do. I got, anybody that over a certain age, too, they're coming up to me in grocery stores. They're loving Flipside, my game show.
Yeah.
It's everybody's going to like you for the thing that they like you for. Mm-hmm. I think the best advice I ever got was that really helped me during a time when he probably didn't even realize it. I went to see Lawrence Fishburne play Thurgood Marshall on Broadway. And sometimes you forget that guy can act, right? This was a one-man play where he played, Thurgood Marshall. Exactly. Yeah. So I went backstage, and he invited me backstage. He had sent somebody, and he saw me in the audience. They'll look in the audience sometime, have me come back. And he said, I used to love coming to the theater on the subway. He says, I can't do that anymore. And I hated it when I was young. Everybody would come to me and call me cornbread. Say, hey, cornbread, hey, cornbread. I'm taking it back now, all right?
That's a good movie.
And, he was in a movie called Cornbread and Earl when he was young. And he says, now I can't even take the train. And everybody's Morpheus, right? And so he just gave me a pat on the shoulder and was just like, he said, keep going.
Yeah. People forgot he was in Pee-wee's.
He was Cowboys Paradise.
Of course. Goes all the way back.
Right? And I'm just looking at the NetJets bag sitting over there on his table, and I'm like, yeah, just keep going.
Well, Jaleel, speaking of acting, there was a sort of an underrated Disney Plus Marvel show called Moon Knight that came out a year or two ago, and I loved how Oscar Isaac played more than one character. Mm-hmm. And your acting, shifting from Urkel to Stefan, was really good acting.
Thank you.
It was impressive, and I think people kind of took it for granted because it was a sitcom. Was that the most fun for you on the sitcom? What was most fun for you?
Most fun for me, just thrilling. Yeah, I won't even use the word fun, but thrilling was playing Bruce Lee.
Oh,
yeah. When we did the Bruce Lee episode, I was deathly ill. Like, I was deathly ill.
Really?
Yeah. I'd had a bout with something else, and I was just throwing up left and right. And they were gonna. So in a sitcom, you have what they call the block scene, and that's like your biggest scene where you're expecting to bring the house down, and in front of your live studio audience. And that was our biggest fight scene, and it was towards the end of the show. And they were going to call the taping and be like, "I'm sorry, he's actually too sick." And I threw up one last time, and you know how you throw up and you feel really good for like 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I feel good. Go." So they literally director practically yelled action while they just stuck me into place. Oh my God. And it was just on straight adrenaline. That's just adrenaline pumping through my body right there.
We're watching the clip. Yeah.
Getting me through this fight scene. And that's probably one of my favorite. And we used all the stunt guys from Steven Seagal's movies because he was a Warner Brothers star at the time, and he would not treat them very well until they come over and share all these stories.
You have the Bruce Lee mannerisms down pretty solidly. Yeah.
You look really ripped in this scene too.
Yeah. Look at the arms, man. Nice work.
Jaleel, I've seen you at a number of Philly sporting events. Are you a Philly sports fan or just sports fan?
I am a sports fan, but when it comes to the NFC, I'm definitely going to support the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice.
And I saw you at Sixers games too.
Oh yeah. Now I used to know a lot of your Philly sports heroes. Donovan McNabb, myself, and Freddie Mitchell. Our birthdays are all one after the next. Donovan's the 26th, I'm the 27th, and Freddie Mitchell's the 28th.
Nice.
I have to ask you something because you achieved that success, and it's in the book as well. You have these seasoned professional actors who have careers, and they're watching you come in.
Yeah.
And it's bound to create a dynamic that would be hard for an adult to process.
Yeah.
You're a young kid, and you're like, hey, guys, we're all in this together. But you got a little bit of blowback, whether it was overt or not, you could sense it. What was it like dealing with that at that age?
Well, I think when you're a kid especially, you just want to fit in.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing any kid wants to do. And, I think that was that worked itself out over time, and I've talked about that. You don't do 215 episodes quarreling with people.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely became a family, and I think we peaked when we did our episodes in Paris. We're the only black show to ever shoot a couple of episodes in Europe. And so I'm really, really proud of that. The thing that I really am more proud that I share in the book, though, is no one knows and realizes I went to public school the entire time I did that show.
That's amazing.
So,
and you had good grades.
Yeah, every 2 to 3 weeks, I was right there in class, raising my hand.
How was everybody, all the other classmates and stuff? Were they?
It was, in the beginning, it was rough because I was the only black kid in an all-white school. And this area had not done a very good job of integrating, but my mom was determined to get me in this school. That became a little too much, got me out of there. Then I went to an all-black school, so that turned into like the Joe Clark Lean on Me experience. And then eventually I landed at a spot called South Pasadena High School where things kind of mellowed out a bit. Thank God we did not have smartphones back then because that's basically what allowed me to assimilate on campus. And the kids would just really kind of be in awe to a certain degree of just how I was able to participate. They're like, how are you ready for this test? You weren't here.
It's a Herculean chore.
So it started to almost kind of become like a magic trick that I really I really leaned into.
And what did you get tutoring on set? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, I had tutor on set, and my mom fired the first two, and until she found the right guy to really crack the whip over me.
Jaleel, did that mean that you weren't able to really participate in sports because all your time was taken up with the acting?
So yes, until my senior year.
Okay.
And then we changed our entire production schedule so that I could be on my high school basketball team.
Oh my God.
So,
excellent.
But puberty kicked in. You were a smaller kid.
No, I grew 9 inches between 15 and 17.
What? That's wild.
Yeah, you talk about all that. The best part about the book also, just in case we keep talking about books, I rarely have time to read myself. So I did my own audio.
Good.
We love that.
So buy the audio version and just listen to it in your car.
That's what I do.
Because I poured my heart and soul into actually reading the darn book.
Steve and I are both audiobook aficionados, and when the artist themselves is narrating the book, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah, you're feeling the things that you've written down.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention, you mentioned your mom, and this might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've had a very level-headed approach to the career. You didn't get seduced by all the extremes, at least to us. It seemed that way. Out of the gate, was the acting and everything kind of a way your mother seemed to want to look for a revenue income to get you into college?
Yeah, that's
what it was. It was all based on that, and you knew that.
Yeah, there's a healthy bit of naivete that kind of protected me throughout the entire experience. My mom didn't even get a new car until the first, I think we'd done probably about 80 or 90 episodes before she got into. She drove her Acura into the ground.
Wow.
And she just couldn't believe it was lasting this long. And so I think she and my father just kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I remember even myself making the correlation that something bigger was afoot.
Yeah.
When they hung the banner above our studio audience that said, "Congratulations on your first 100 episodes."
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a typo.
Yeah.
You expect me to do this for another 100 episodes?
And 100 is a milestone, or was at that time? Because
And I was like struggling with the voice at the time. You know, I was going through puberty and it was cracking on me all over the place.
Yeah.
And I was like, another 100?
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, Jaleel White's in our studio, and the book is called Growing Up Urkel, and actually a couple appearances in our area. Saturday at Soul Joel's Sunnybrook, 1 o'clock, and then Sunday at Wilmington Public Library. I wanted to mention, Jaleel, how much I loved you in the movie Big Fat Liar.
You're a huge fan.
I had already liked you. But when you full-on addressed the character and people calling you Urkel and stuff like that, you became even more likable to me. And it looked like you guys were having a blast. It's a great cast. I mean, Paul Giamatti and everybody in that movie.
Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy surrounding how I ended up in that movie and how things worked out. But for me, I've always been about, Preston, the audience experience.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's going to have a reason why you linger in this business for as long as you do. And I just love the audience experience. So even that, I didn't even attend the premiere of that movie. I just went to a theater. I sat in the back, and I just wanted to see people's actual reactions.
I mean, you Paul Giamatti's career obviously is, you know.
Yeah, that was his first leading role.
His first leading role.
That was his first. Remember, they turned him blue. I think he was. I don't think he was counting on that when he went to Yale.
I love that.
Everybody's got to get a start somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Such a good junk food movie. Yeah.
I talk about your likability now being a game show host.
Yeah,
You're perfect for that role.
Thank you.
And has it been fun so far?
It's been a freaking blast.
It's called Flip Side. It's on CBS.
Yes.
It's a great idea.
It's so simple. It's
easy.
It's freaking Doritos, man. It's not even. I am not here to oversell you, man. This is.
Those are the ones that work, though.
It's just this or that. That's it. It's just this or that. But I had been doing a lot of 25 words or less. With Meredith Vieira, I've been doing Pictionary. And I've been doing it for about 3 years, and that's what I mean where I'm saying you don't even realize sometimes your creator has you on a path of doing these little hits that's training you for it. And the opportunity came along, and I didn't even flinch. I was like, heck yes. Like, I just feel like a dad, man. I just got married this year. And
congratulations.
I appreciate you. And my wife, like, she made me breakfast, like, every morning. I was like, man, you didn't do this before I got this job, man. This is what I got to do to you. She's sending me out, man. Like,
well, you know, to be a good game show host, it helps to know how to be a good game show contestant.
Test it, yep.
And what you're going to look to bring out of them.
Yeah.
And you had that part nailed.
Yeah.
Outside of Flip Side, what is your go-to favorite game show to watch?
I mean, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm really kind of good at 25 words or less.
Oh,
so
really?
I like playing the game, and I still go back and play. You know, I still promise Meredith. She's so the host of 25. She's so supportive of me. She came even when she found out I was going to be a host, and she found out the format. She was like, "Oh, you're going to be on forever." And I was just like, "Hey, from your lips to God's ears." But I love Pressure Luck. That's an old
Pressure Luck, by the way, has I contend Elizabeth Banks, right, is hosting right now. The
I love her. She is awesome.
But the prizing on that show is effing insane. They're giving away twin BMWs and stuff. I mean, they're giving away heavy prizes.
I mean, you know, once you're a legacy show, people you get better product placement. Mm-hmm. But another one I love, of course, I'm gonna always love Price is Right. And those are probably like my favorites.
You got to bring back Bumper Stumpers, man.
Bumper Stumpers. I don't know about that one.
Oh, it's license plates, and you have to try and figure out what they're trying to say. And it's just like letters and numbers.
Bumper Stumpers.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I just love the title. That was on TV?
That was on TV. I think maybe like
Do you remember years ago there was a game that was literally a huge pinball machine.
Oh my God!
Do you remember that? Preston? It was terrible.
I remember that.
But I would watch it.
The 70s was a glut of failed game shows. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, it was a while back then, though. It's like, I missed that about the 70s and the 80s. They just made it up.
Yeah. That's it.
It seemed
It was none of this IP crap. You know, this intellectual property with a following and pre-existing audience. It was none of that crap. It was just like, hey, man, I got a great idea for a show. Who farts the loudest? right? Is your hearing better than that guy's? Right?
You're right.
That'll get him.
No, you're right. Nostalgically, that's what you look back at. You made reference to your changing voice and the voice cracking. So there's rumors that as you matured and became into full manhood, that you, a la Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz, had to be patted down, especially in your groin area. Is that?
Oh my God!
You wear a dancer's belt?
Is that a fact?
Yeah, if you even notice on the very last season of Family Matters, they just stopped wearing jeans. They stopped putting jeans on me. The last season, I'm only wearing khakis in every episode.
Wow.
Jaleel, I had a couple of friends that opened a dispensary in California a few years ago, and unfortunately they got robbed, and it ended up being a failed business. But you were dabbling a couple of years ago. Are you still involved in marijuana?
Well, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So it's a Purple Urkel?
Well, that is the strain that I'm known for, but my brand company name is It's Purple.
Okay, it's Purple. So, how's business? Because it's changed a lot with legalization in different states over the years. How's it going in California?
Do you partake?
Yeah.
I may have brought something.
Oh, wait a minute.
I partake too. So does Preston. So I know.
I may have brought something for you too.
I shared this story not that long ago. The highest I may have ever been in my life, I smoked a joint with David Lee Roth. This was like 23 years ago, and it was completely illegal at the time, but I didn't care. If I could smoke a doob with Jaleel White, that might surpass David Lee Roth.
I mean, listen, all things are possible. I smoke with Snoop though. That guy, he takes it to another level.
God!
How?
So you've heard the story that he was with I'm having a brain problem.
Willie Nelson?
Willie Nelson, and Willie Nelson put him under the table.
He outsmoked Snoop Dogg.
I can believe that. You know why? Because that's what actually put me on to it. I never smoked when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm still not really like a giant smoker. It's just, I love the best of anything.
Right.
If you want to bring the best tequila in here, the best whiskey in here, I'm not talking about the cheap stuff. I mean like the top shelf. Like, let's go. Let's do it, right? So it was the same thing with cannabis though, but I was about 33 years old on a ski trip with some white guys in freaking Aspen. And they broke it out.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, still to this day, I can taste that steak. It was like, I'm like, you get the best weed from white guys, and all the brothers are going to jail. We got to fix that. We got to fix that. That was my whole thing. I said, you're not going to name a strain of weed loosely based off my old character. Let's say it like that. And put all these brothers in jail while the white guys are hydro growing this stuff in nuclear factories all across the country.
That is so friggin' funny.
I think Aspen is the first place I legally bought, like in a state somewhere, and it was such a fascinating process for somebody coming from Pennsylvania and going to a place like that where you kind of have to go through a few different steps or whatever. I just found like the more it gets legalized around the country, it just when it changes from state to state, I find the whole process really fascinating.
Oh, it's incredibly fascinating. And the first thing I like to tell people who don't smoke or look down upon it or anything like that, I say, okay, just chill, okay? Because dirt weed ain't what I'm talking about.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I'm talking about premium cannabis. We call mine the noodle because it has literally a rotini pasta filter.
Wow.
Really?
Just a piece of pasta.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Now you gotta love me, Preston. Like, we about to make a core memory, homie.
Somebody had to have been baked to come up with that idea.
So that was all right. When I went to it was the Snoop, Dre, Eminem concert, and the gentleman behind us. We were sharing lighters, and they ended up sharing their blunt with us. And I had never experienced the filter, you know what I mean? Like it was always like, you had to like spit stuff out,
with
and
papers
that was
that's that dirt weed.
But it was, I was like, it was awesome because we were building bridges, right? A couple of gentlemen behind us who I never would have interacted with, like they had some of ours, and then they were like shared with us. I was like, well, this is a whole new way to roll.
If I hand you something, it's aromatic.
Yeah.
Nice. With investing in something like that, Jaleel, I would imagine as your star rises, you become successful, people really start reaching out to you to want to get involved in their line of work and other investments and things. Is that something you dabble in, keep a close eye on, or try to make your money work for you elsewhere as well?
I definitely try to make my money work for me elsewhere, but I just try to surround myself now with better people for vetting. Now there's just so many scammers out there.
Yeah.
If I put my name on anything or I become involved in anything, I try to make sure it's as holistic a venture as possible.
Okay.
So, I'm serious. Like what I hand you, like I stand behind. Like I'm like, dude, this is
Your name.
This is from Cali, from me to you, and I hope to make a core memory.
It's funny because I'm seeing so many people that are sit right in the wheelhouse of Family Matters and the TGIF shows and all that stuff. They're now, that is now the new crest of waving nostalgia. So it's a sweet spot. I see it all over the place, and people are loving it. It could not be a better time for this book.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is that I like to take every opportunity to let people know too. I was never offered a reboot of the show. You know, when they did Fuller House on Netflix, one of our executive producers kind of started trying to put together a deal for Family Matters right behind it, and he just wanted me to sign a blind contract. No script, no stories, no nothing, no writing producers attached. Yeah, this is what we're going to pay you and sign right here. And I was like, nah. So, here we are several years later, and I just feel like the book is a roadmap for a better show.
Yeah, all as you said, I'm sure that as you read it, you realize these are questions you've been asked, and you're finally putting it out there to have. But there's a lot of heart to it too, because that's
that I like to hear.
Yeah, and you described it as writing the book helped you find your purpose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I've always been about, the audience experience. Yeah, and that's why I do it. That's why the game show is fun for me. Yeah, you know how fun it is, man, to give away $10,000 4 times in a row to see some people break down on their knees because they actually needed the money. You didn't know it. That's what makes it fun.
Yep. If a reboot were to come along and it's the right recipe, do you think that a good portion of the original cast would be a go for something like that?
I don't think a traditional reboot works for us. A traditional reboot.
Yeah.
I think something more along the lines of a more family-oriented film, what they did for Fresh Prince.
Right.
But something a little bit more family-oriented that has a little bit more laughter. My daughter's favorite show to watch, the only linear television show she watches, is Modern Family over and over and over again.
Likewise.
And so tonally, you remember the Bernie Mac show?
Yes.
I'd love to do something like the Bernie Mac show where it's instead of the sections where he talked, I would just like to show myself and my daughter now.
Yeah.
But then reflecting back on my version of life in the 90s.
Okay.
And I think that would be a show that could be timeless.
How old's your daughter?
My daughter's 15, so she's at that age right now where as a dad I'm just Uber.
Yeah. Not much longer though. She'll be out there doing it.
Yeah,
on her
she's
own.
like, Dad, you can just drop me off right here. I said, no, I can't. I pay tuition here, and I will drive through the entire carpool. I don't have to ask for a kiss, but you will not treat me as such, and I don't need your freaking 5 stars.
Brilliant.
Does she have any designs on acting or
I have
entertainment?
asked my daughter pointedly, would you like to be on television? Would you like to act? And she has been very demonstrative in saying no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And same thing with my kids. I'm like, radio? No.
It's amazing how our kids can be completely unimpressed with what provides.
All the time.
Right? Just completely again, that's why I say I would really love to do my version of the show because, I had to ask my mom for money and beg and connive. And, for me, it's just, it's a text message that leads to a notification on my phone.
Right,
and something's already been purchased.
Jaleel, my son makes fun of me. If somebody recognizes me in a store, when they walk away, he's like, "Oh, hey, Kathy Romano," actively making fun of me.
And why not?
Yeah, there we go.
Let's hear your traffic report, Mom.
Listen, Jaleel's book is called Growing Up Urkel. You can get it wherever books are sold. And like I said, a couple of appearances. Saturday at Soul Joel's Sunnybrook, that's at 1 o'clock. And then Sunday, he will be at Wilmington Public Library
at noon.
At noon, okay.
On Sunday.
All right. And don't miss the game show Flip Side as well on CBS. But man, we're so happy you had time to come by here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
We're very, very thrilled that this book came out. I'm going to get the audio version of it and check the whole thing out. But congratulations to you, man. You're just a super nice guy, and we're happy for all your success.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Philly's always been kind to me. Let's go get a cheesesteak and smoke a noodle.
Jaleel White, everybody. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back. Make sure you stay with us, all right?
Look at at this geek. I'm kind of the badass in the room. You know?
That's great.
What a nerd.
I don't understand it. And I've tried to play, and I've gotten really pissed off.
I think I'm too stupid. My attention span is
I'm
too
borderline.
short.
I'm like, I feel like I'm in that room. I'm the dumbest guy in that room. And with my son's 8 years old, and he's not into D&D yet, but he's getting into all the other stuff, Star Wars and comic books, and he's already schooling me. Like, we're talking about Star Wars, and this is something I've liked for 40 years. And he knows more about it already than I do.
Well, you know, he enters into it though with the full catalog ready to go.
Right.
We had to get it through attrition and and incrementally.
Right.
And that's
his hard drive hasn't been affected by anything yet. You know what I mean?
But
his memory.
He's fully
his memory's
wired.
better.
Yeah, but it's part of the deal. The games are like you see them in the back of the comic book stores and they're playing. I'm like, man, it looks like it's so cool and you can get lost in it, but I can't. I would find myself playing with the figures too much, like the little, that's me. Like I remember the game Mousetrap as a kid. I never played the game. I just played with the Mousetrap.
Nice.
So it's all part of the deal.
Too dumb for Mousetrap.
I was too dumb for Mousetrap. So that shows you why I can't succeed at this. What are the games? What are the things are you into on that level? The D&D? Are you Magic the Gathering as well, or are they two separate camps?
It's not even that. It's like I'm so obsessive that certain things I've stayed away from. Like I never got into World of Warcraft because I just knew my wife would never see me again and would probably divorce me. And same thing with Magic the Gathering. I think if I got into it, I would have all the cards and I'd be on eBay buying them in the middle of the night. I got to get the wand of whatever, and
Yesterday, my wife is going through our closet. She's getting her coat to go outside, and she pulls out. I bought this jacket from the Rocketeer, Kathy, this leather jacket, because I got the helmet. She pulls it out and she goes, "What is this?" And it's those moments.
Well, it goes with the helmet.
It goes with the helmet. That's exactly what I said.
Wives don't understand that.
My son told me last night. He goes, "Dad," he's 17 years old. He goes, "Did you know that there's a rumor that if you stay a virgin until you're 30, you have wizardly powers?"
You're like, no, honey.
It was pretty damn funny. So that maybe they're holding out for that. Some of the geeks.
Maybe it's possible.
Oh,
I never heard that one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I made it to 21, and now I'm
a little bit of close-up magic.
Yeah, I got pretty close. 7th level mage.
Did you get started in it by just like doing your own little fan fiction just for fun, and then
in comic books?
Yeah. And then start showing it to people,
No, I mean, I got in because I was into it, and I was already a comic, and so I was hanging out with Marvel guys and DC guys at Comic-Con every year, and they just became my friends. And then I did this other thing for Image first with my writing partner he'd grown up working at a comic book store out in Jersey, and when he moved out to L.A., he and I became friends.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Duggan, and we just wrote that book on our own, and then once we did that, Marvel kind of was like, "Well, you guys know what you're doing. Do you want to write Deadpool?" And the way it came up,
you must have crapped yourself when
I did, yeah. But I still had to even though they wanted to give me the job, I still had to prove that I was worthy. So I had to give them the first year of stories. So we had to do work to actually get the gig.
I remember because they listen. There's the long-standing tradition, and it was very hard to get into that group. I remember the story of a guy who was a writer who ended up writing for Mad Magazine over the year, and that was revered. Mad Magazine to get in there, it took forever. It was like Parliament. Right. You almost had to go through that process. But once you were in, I mean, do they ever bring up the topic of other potential characters?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I've been told I can do a Star Wars book if I want to.
Wow.
Any of the Marvel stuff. But it's just coming up with the idea, because you don't want to just half-ass it with that kind of thing.
Sure.
Because that was the thing with Deadpool always was I was worried about, making the nerdy fans mad. And Punisher fans, a lot of those guys own guns. So you don't want to make Punisher fans mad.
Yeah.
Ex-military dudes that are like, "Oh, you messed up Frank Castle, brother." And I'm like, "Oh, man."
You can't, Star Wars you can handle.
Yeah.
When a dude shows up with the...
Well, I don't know. Star Wars nerds are pretty hardcore. Yeah.
When you go out, because you are doing so much, and we described you as a modern-day Da Vinci, when you go out and you're performing at comedy clubs, what is the composition of the audience coming to see you? Is it is it more nerds? Is it more TV fans of your TV work?
It's both, and I mean, I notice my fans because they look like me. A lot of black T-shirts and facial hair,
Right.
and
hunched a little bit.
Breasts, maybe.
Breasts.
Maybe they haven't taken care of themselves. a lot of doughy foods in their diet. I don't know. I'm not judging.
No, it's the more the merrier.
I've lost a lot, but yeah,
you look good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
you're a big time rocker. You been to any concerts this season?
I went to Tom Petty's last show.
You did? The Hollywood Bowl?
Yeah, Hollywood Bowl, and then the
kidding.
following week he was dead. And there's no way I would have, if you would have said, "Man, this is his last show," he didn't seem, like 1 foot.
Were you so glad you went though?
Oh, absolutely. But that taught me. I'm like, I'll never say no again. Like anybody who comes through, I'll be like, that guy might die, so. Unless they're young. But, yeah.
Who's on the list? Who's on the got to get to list
I
for
don't
you?
even know. I mean, if Floyd ever gets back together, or Zeppelin, or any of those, obviously. But there's not too many. Tom Petty was one of the only. I had never seen him, and I'm so glad I did.
Have you seen the Stones? Yeah, it was the same question.
Yeah, I saw them in the old days.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw them with Guns N' Roses and Live in Color in 90.
That's a hell of a show.
Yeah, was it 1990, 1989?
That was a triple bill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ed mentioned Floyd. My son, my youngest son, is 15. He's into music, so I'm about ready to have the Dark Side of the Moon experience. I'm going to turn him on to that.
Right.
So we're going to go, and the way I remember listening to that album from beginning to end, we're going to a dark room, light a candle, sit back, and
Ludes.
Ludes. No, we're not going to smoke weed, but we're gonna listen to that. I can't wait to turn him on to
And
that.
then he'll really like it when he smokes weed.
Right, exactly. This is step one.
Yeah,
We'll get to that later.
I don't know.
Just dip your feet in, and when I'm not around, check it out on your own. Yeah.
Where's that experience coming from now? Where you could, that used to be till you talk about the religious experience of in the dark with the turntable and the whole thing, and I'm going to now in the darkness see the music, and that you don't get it anymore.
There's no albums anymore.
Yeah,
that's why it's not going to happen anymore.
They don't do laser light shows anymore either.
I used to love laser light shows.
Those things are badass.
No matter who they were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been Little River Band. It would still work. Maybe not.
Rush, yes.
Pink Floyd was made for laser.
I went to a
laser
Rush
Floyd.
one back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in San Francisco. Yeah.
I went to Seattle
wasted.
Sounds, and it was awesome. It was Pearl Jam, Nirvana.
Oh, that's a good one.
Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. It was awesome.
The problem with the laser light shows is the seats were they're planetarium seats. So if you went late at night, you were going to fall asleep because they were
Right.
Yep, because you laid back.
reclined,
But
yeah.
they're probably better now. I would think there's been some advancements in laser.
You would hope.
Because back then it was just like they would write Rush with a laser and then spin it around. So you see what Rush looked like backwards. And you'd be like, wow.
Well, then they
It's
did
amazing.
They did 3D laser lights
Yeah,
where you'd
yeah.
wear the glass. Do you remember that?
No,
Yeah, that
I
was
missed
for
out
a
on
brief
that.
period, yeah.
Yes.
And so thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
again,
thanks
man.
for having me.
And
Always,
enjoy
guys.
your time in Philadelphia.
Thanks, man.
Brian Posehn. Anne Hathaway. Kathy, this is for you. You hate her.
Yeah.
She doesn't want the paparazzi making money off her baby bump, and so she took to Instagram on Monday to share a photo of herself rocking a bikini with her pregnant belly on full display. I've not seen this yet.
I did.
How's it look?
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, she look all right?
I think
She still looks annoying.
she's actually taken the time.
Annoying.
I'm with you.
She's taken the time to, I think, let people calm down about her.
Yeah.
You know? Like she's trying to stay out of the mainstream a little bit.
She wrote, happy 2016 to my beautiful Insta friends. So posting a bikini pic is a little out of character for me, but just now, while I was on the beach, I noticed that I was being photographed. I figured if this kind of photo is going to be out in the world, it should at least be an image that makes me happy and be one that was taken with my consent and with a filter.
She's right.
So she did it. Actually, it's pretty smart.
Who's she married to, or who's her boyfriend?
She is married to Adam Schulman. They got married in 2012.
And what is he?
They've been
Craft
together-
services?
They've been together for 4 years, so before they got married. This marks the first time that Anne has publicly acknowledged her pregnancy since it was first reported in November. So
You know what? She's really good in the Batman movie. She does a solid job.
I didn't hate her.
Yeah.
But, Kath, I'm with you. She bothers the hell out of me. She really does.
Yeah.
Hey, but look at you hated Sandra Bullock,
I know
and now
what-
you love her. In fact, your whole lifestyle is now
Well, she's
Sandra Bullock base.
She's taken over my my Sandra Bullock.
Your ire?
My hate slot.
Your hate slot.
I have a couple.
That's a that's what Dennis calls it.
Yes. Jeez, I see the hate slot.
I can see the hate slots out.
We'll see how our luck goes with getting our lottery tickets.
I have a good feeling about it.
I do too. Are they saying that it could possibly hit $1 billion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's
Here,
what
let's see
happens.
what it's
They
up to.
start throwing some targeted numbers out, and then that causes
That fuels a surge.
the furor and
I'll be there.
not that.
I want to play.
Furor is also.
The Fuhrer has heard.
I hope he doesn't win.
The current.
That would be bad.
That'd be bad if Hitler won the lottery.
You know what? I would quit. I would retire.
Jeez.
I would get.
And that would be a good thing.
You know, I'd get a little place, go fishing.
Forgive and forget?
Yeah, you know. You know what? I'll even hang out with some Jews. I'm wealthy. Who cares?
Oh, man. Oh, my God. All right. Anyhow, the fervor.
Yeah.
Is that a better word?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
The Fuhrer has some bad memories.
Oh, God. Penelope Ann Miller, who we had on the show when The Artist, that movie was nominated.
Did you ever get to see that?
I did not.
You would enjoy it, really.
Really?
I know it's a weird conceit to have it, you know.
It's a silent movie.
Silent movie, but
I've seen scenes of it, and it looks entertaining, looks
Yeah,
engaging.
it's
So
well done.
I would like to watch it sometime.
she has a full-on bad shot in it, too, which is amazing.
Full-on bad shot.
Yeah, that's how they used to do it in the silent days.
Nice beaver.
When they needed extra dialogue, they would move that around, too.
Move that around.
Well, you see it move, and then a card comes up that says queef.
Dude.
Wow, we took it in that direction.
Serious.
We had to because we're artists.
Did we?
Because we're artists.
Some people work in oils.
And it would have, when the word queef would come, have little quotations around it. Yeah.
And then the dog looked up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, the way they used to do it in the classics.
I don't know that.
Somebody in the theater would be playing piano during that.
Ding, 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 and then the music would stop.
Come on, Kathy, get in on
No,
this.
it's all right. I'm good.
Okay.
I don't even. Well, listen.
My God.
Some of that might be untrue.
It might be.
Or all of it.
All right, some birthdays today as we wait for your answer. It is the 18th day of January, and from the band Korn, Jonathan Davis celebrates. Right before he blows out the candles, it's all right, everybody. Here we go. And
That's their riff on Cha Cha Cha.
yeah, right, exactly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonathan. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
So sweet.
Now, just how old
No, we're not going to do that. Jonathan is 45 today. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's also, I think, National Brothers Week.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're a brother.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Right on.
Is
There
it
you go.
brother, B-R-U-T-H-A, or
No,
brothers?
You're a brother.
If you have a sibling.
I am the middle brother. I have an older brother and a younger brother. That puts me in the middle.
I'm the only brother.
Did you get into physical fights with your sister?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she beat the crap out of me. She's 4 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when did that change? When were you able to?
I remember specifically punching her one time and it causing damage, and I was probably like 14 or something like that.
That did not sit well with your dad. Didn't your dad give you all sorts of hell for that?
Probably. I don't remember.
That's how it was for me too. They didn't punch, but I remember the first time getting like seriously hurt, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna
like
instigate
shoved or
this
something
anymore.
like that. Yeah.
Whatever it was, like I got hurt, and he was a little too strong for me. Then I'm like, okay, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, like Kathy, I was the oldest, but then my youngest brother Josh started playing ice hockey, and that got him in really good shape and much stronger than me. And it was probably, I don't know, 12 or 13.
93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kath. So our next guest is going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. Shows are at 7:30 and 10 p.m., and we love having him here. Please welcome Alonzo Bodden.
Thank you. And in honor of Joel Embiid, I am not doing back-to-back shows. All right, so there'll only be one show a night. You just pick which one. Okay. Joel told me you just don't do back-to-backs. My back, leg, knee, whatever is hurting.
It's too much.
I gotta, I'm resting because I have shows in December. I gotta get ready.
You missed it when Alonzo came in. He goes over and he goes, "Is this the black person seat here?"
Oh my God!
It's the official black person seat. I'm Preston and Steve today. So.
We just had Jaleel White in the studio. If you're just tuning in, you guys, have you ever encountered each other?
No, we haven't.
Talking
Just mutual admiration. We, know who each other are, but it was great to meet him. He's cool. I have a friend who's done his show a number of times, and I was just with them last week, so it was just one of those small coincidences to run into him.
You have obviously your resident voice and you're personable. Have you ever been approached for game show hosting?
Yeah, I was up for a game show, and it was building something. I can't remember what it was, but they liked me for my engineering background.
Okay.
I think we had to judge Lego sets or something like that.
There is a Lego game that Will Arnett hosts.
I got bumped by a football player.
Really?
There was an ex-NFL player who they wanted. They like names. You ever see that show that Dwayne Wade hosts, a game show? And I'm like, okay, how many comics did you pass to get to Dwayne Wade? No disrespect to Dwayne Wade, but why do I think that any comic would be better as a host than an ex-NBA player? So, no, I get, and it's comments like this in public that kind of hurt my career. I've never been known to know when to shut up. So
you're not massaging the right people.
No, I got 2 NBA players mad at me. I won't challenge NFL, but NBA, I'll take a shot.
You take a shot.
I see that you are a big fan of jazz. When I first read this, I was like, I was thinking the Utah Jazz, but the music jazz.
Yeah, the music. Yeah, it's bigger than Utah.
He's right.
Again,
he
so
is
this
exactly
just
right.
Slam the NBA day. Utah Jazz. Yeah. John Stockton better than Magic Johnson. In what universe? Anyway.
We just briefly mentioned, we were talking off air about music, and Quincy Jones' name came up. We lost the great just recently last week, and you said you had have a story about Quincy.
So there's certain people that you meet that it's almost like you can't encompass who they are.
Yes. Yeah.
So for years, I was like the comic at the LA Press Club dinner. They do these award dinners, and I do 5 minutes, and it's been great. I've met a lot of people. Dolly Parton was hilarious. She was great. I met Bob Barker, Carol Burnett, so on. So they were honoring Quincy Jones. And what they did, instead of a speech, they had this guy interview him, like when he got his award. Well, this guy didn't know who Quincy Jones was.
Oh my God.
And he wanted to talk to Quincy Jones about Michael Jackson and be like tabloid crap about Michael, right?
Right.
So the audience, we're kind of sitting there like, do you understand who you're talking to? Like, So I did this joke. I said, Quincy Jones, the only person in the world who could look at Bono and say, would you just shut up and sing? And Quincy's at the table cracking up.
Yeah.
After the show, he sat in the bar with about 8 or 10 of us and told stories for 2 hours.
Wow.
And to listen to Quincy Jones' stories, I will never forget, he started this story. So the second time I scored the Olympics, really? The second time you scored, from Michael Jackson to Sinatra,
Ray Charles,
to Barack Obama, to Brezhnev, to all it, and he's like, he's not name dropping, like, this is his life. These are the people who he deals with, encountered, Ray Charles. And I told him, I said, Q, because, we've been friends for an hour now. Yeah. I said, Q, my best story is going to be meeting you. I said, if I met you tomorrow, I'd be like, you know who I met? I met Quincy Jones. Like, you're my,
Yeah.
But he was the nicest guy, and he talked to everybody, and not just how you doing. Like, he would just sit and talk with people and tell. He was just a great guy, and the talent, just incredible. Like, you've made all the music, right? Yeah. For, everything.
We went through the list of his jazz associations. That career in and of itself, up to that point, would have been legendary. And then he moved on to the run of Michael Jackson albums and pop that was just a whole other thing.
He loved all music. Any type of music. To him, there wasn't any category. He talked about that. He's like, no, it's just music.
Yeah.
So he might do country, or he might do Sinatra, or he might do Michael Jackson, or he might do jazz with Miles Davis. And the other cool thing about him, because we were talking about We Are the World, is like, anyone he calls takes that call.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Nobody's busy when Quincy Jones calls, like, yes, I'll be there. Where do you need me? I'll be there. I'll be ready to sing or play or whatever.
Yeah, when your phone rings, you don't go, it's Quincy Jones.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, the Herculean chore of We Are the World, to get all those people together, even though it was right after an industry event that was taking place, still, to get people to commit to that, nobody could pull that off.
Right. And also to tell them who's singing and who's doing what.
Right. Because a lot of great people were just backup singers in that room.
Right. And he did. That's why he laughed. He said that's why the Bono thing was funny. He was like, how did you know? And I just kind of assumed he's a talker. So, in the jazz cruises, like, I've met so many incredible artists. I love jazz because of the creativity of it. I think that, to me, that's the big parallel with comedy, improv, and creativity. And I've met so many people that it's crazy.
Name drop.
Okay, so I have a friend named Robert Glasper, incredible keyboard player. And you talk about crossover. He's brought hip-hop into jazz. Like, he's does all these amazing collaborations with all these different people. So whenever you're at Robert Glasper's green room, it's the coolest spot in whatever city you're in. I've met Don Cheadle there. Chappelle is there. Just all kind. I've met two Avengers through him. I met Cheadle in L.A., and then we were in New York, and Colin Yost and Scarlett Johansson come in.
Wow.
And I told her, like, you're my second Avenger. And she was cool as could be.
Oh, that's cool.
Stunning beauty, really fun, this and that. So we're in the green room. It's him and a woman named Esperanza Spalding, who's an incredible jazz bassist. She beat Justin Bieber for Best New Artist in the Grammys. This was a famous moment when they actually chose a musician over a pop star. She's incredible. So we're sitting there, and they said, hey, there's someone waiting to meet you. And they're like, we're eating something. Give it a few minutes. So they come back, and they're like, yeah, Angela's still waiting. They're like, Angela? Yeah, Angela Davis. And they were like, okay, first of all, you lead with that. So Angela Davis comes in, and I was like, you're history. You're not a star. They teach you in school. Like, what a weird concept beyond fame to actually be living history. So that's the biggest name I could draw. And trust me, I met other people there and this and that who are fantastic. But when you meet Angela Davis, like, for me as a comic, like, I made Angela Davis laugh.
There you go.
So I win.
There you go. It's got to be ethereal. Do you, as a jazz fan, do you play?
No.
You don't play anything?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I play CDs. I play CDs. And no, I've, it's not a talent I have. Like, music is a different type of communication. We joke about it all the time, that they communicate in emotion.
Right.
Comics communicate with intellect. And women like the emotion. We're not good. They meet comics to get them backstage so they can meet musicians.
I've long contended that this thing about, and women will say it, and you'll see them, if they're doing some sort of Victoria's Secret thing about the Victoria's Angels, and they'll talk to, what do you like in a man? I love a sense of humor. Do you put any stock in that when you see these world-class beauties espousing that? It has not been my experience.
Jay Moore is married to Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers.
Yep.
Right.
Comedy worked. Jay's our hero. Jay's like, Jay, you really took this women like funny to the extreme. No, they do. It's not the same as music.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
But women do like the sense of humor. But any woman who is dated or is married to a comic will tell you that when you're in a relationship with a comic, you don't get the funny part. you get the other parts.
Right.
That's very true.
And they're like,
that's very true.
Other women be like, oh, I bet he's funny all the time. And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, he's just a barrel of laughs.
Hilarious.
As
My
he
wife
goes
gets
through
that.
his periods of dark depression and misery and this and that, then you get to see the result on stage. And then I
so
had
true.
a friend. I've never been married. I always say I'm married to comedy. She's a jealous woman, right? But I have a friend, and she was naming each woman attached to the bit. Like I would do jokes because I never, and she was like, oh yeah, I remember her. That was so-and-so. And then I do another joke. She was, and I was laughing. I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, it's not the women, it's me. It's like I'm the common denominator in this.
That is funny.
But yeah, women like it. And and another friend of mine, who I will shout out any chance I get, Liz Mealy, hilarious comic, and she had a joke she did about going on a date with a guy, and she's like, the guy was she said, well, dude, it's not me. People pay to listen to me. I'm very interesting and very funny. You're boring, And it was like, yeah. If we can carry a conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
Wanted to ask a completely question out of left field here. I saw, Alonzo, as you placed your right hand over this way, I couldn't help but notice your pinky finger has a funky turn to it.
Yeah.
What is there a story behind
Absolutely.
that? Okay.
When I was a kid, so my last digit of last knuckle of my finger, for those, this is radio. I don't know if you understand. You have to explain visuals.
You're on
to people.
YouTube too. Mm-hmm.
So the last digit on my pinky, the last knuckle, is bent to the right. When I was a kid, we were playing Evel Knievel. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So our ramp was a car hood, and you had to jump over cinder blocks.
Sure.
So, the record was 3 cinder blocks, and I could do 4 cinder blocks, and then I found out, no, I can only do 3 cinder blocks.
Man.
My pinky got caught between the chain and the sprocket, and it practically cut it off, right? So I go home a bloody mess screaming. My mother's like, again? I'm like, yeah. And they take me to the hospital. They sew it up. They stitch it. They fix it. And it was like bent. And the doctor said, oh, we have to break it again. And I'm just a kid. I'm like 10 years old. Even then, I already have the mouth. I'm like, well, you couldn't fix it the first time. Why would I think you could do it? No, leave it alone. So that's why it's still that way.
Wow.
Yeah. Even then, I had a mouth on me. I was like, hey, you couldn't fix it the first time.
It's funny though when those injuries, like I've talked about. I think I'm quite a fast skipper. Actual skipping, and I did it in the hallway here, and I caused an injury that lasted about 6 months. So that when you have those weird little things that you do that are like, even as a kid, that live with you forever.
Yeah, you get a story out of it, I guess. But that's why.
I was curious. Yeah, my dad's got a long time injury like that. His pinky finger is bent in a funky. It's like I can't.
Yeah, I think they've improved pinky
permanent.
technology.
They have,
kids,
right?
They can actually.
Pinky technology.
Although,
dude, that should be the name of your next special, pinky technology.
Here's another one right here.
Well, that's a nasty scar. It's a scar on the top of his wrist, on the top side.
I broke my wrist. I was doing a track day on a motorcycle, which is when we go to the racetrack and we practice on the track. If you go to my Wikipedia, I don't know who wrote this, but they wrote the most brilliant story about me racing Ducati motorcycles that I've never corrected it. I was impressed. I was like, wow, I'm that good. So anyway, I break my wrist. I go to the doctor, and the doctor's this cool guy, brother. We're in the same age group, whatever. And he's, how you look at the X-ray machine,
right?
And he's looking at it. He's like, man, you really effed that up. And I was like, is that your professional? He's like, yeah, this thing, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. So he did surgery, and he tried to fix it. The scaphoid bone is a small bone in the wrist. There's 7 bones. And the problem with this bone is it gets the least blood flow of any of the bones, so it's difficult to heal, right? So he does a surgery once, doesn't heal. And he's like, I got to do it again. And I'm like, you practicing, you learn this, you got it. So now me and him go at it. We're cracking on each other. I'm like, well, if you were a good surgeon, you'd fix it. He's like, well, if you didn't ruin, So he does a second surgery, and it still doesn't. So then I go for the third. I'm like, dude, this one's on the house, right? I mean, the hell's how many times? He's like, I'm just taking it out. I'm taking the whole thing out. So he did.
Okay.
That bone.
He took out the shattered bone, and it's fine. My wrist, I lost like 10% movement in my wrist. But the funny thing is, they send the pictures of the surgery to the insurance or another doctor, to my regular doctor, and they somehow CC'd me on it. And I see a picture of my wrist like pinned open inside of the surgery. I'm like, dude, I'm not supposed to see this. What the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you hire somebody? And he and I are friends to this day. He's great.
That is terrific.
Great
Is he
guy.
ride? Because I know that you're
Oh,
an
no,
avid-
he's not. But he's not don't ride. Like, you know what he's famous for? His thing, he put the, what would the guys who did the movies, why am I blanking on it?
Siskel and Ebert?
No, the Jackass movies.
like Jeff Tremaine, like
he
those
puts
guys?
them back together.
The Jackass, yeah.
He
Wow.
puts them
So
back
then he
together
knows.
after
They
they
all
do,
order.
Okay.
because they bust themselves up.
Yeah,
and
they do.
he does surgery on those guys, which is kind of a cool credit, I guess, in the surgery world.
Yeah.
You know, like, I build jackasses. Good for you.
You're in Vegas, and so do you is part of the draw of Vegas? You have a lot of open territory to ride your bike?
It's different riding in Vegas than it is in California.
How so?
So California, well, for one thing, we have the coast, and we have these beautiful canyons, and you have all these twisting canyon roads. Some of them are world-famous roads, and this was in my backyard. I would ride these sport bikes and sport roads all the time. Vegas is all cruising. It's open, like you said. It's open roads. There's some mountains, but it's funny because it's like they think they're mountain roads, and I'm like, no, you ain't seen a mountain road. This is but so the big change in Vegas, I got my first Harley. I've never been a Harley guy.
Wow.
And now I got a road glide, and now I get it. Like the cruising thing and stuff, it's fun. I like it. So it's a different kind of riding, but I'm always going to ride.
I was curious about that because when I think motorcycles, I think, flat, straight.
Sure.
That's what's going to be cool. But drummer from the band Rush, who I'm a big fan of, Neil Peart, was a big-time touring
absolutely.
bike
I
guy.
read his book.
I read a couple of his books, and he would, when he would map out stuff, he would look for twisty, windy, different elevations. Like that would get him all excited and turned on. So I guess it depends on what kind of biking you're doing.
Yeah, because there's a skill to it, and it's also a beauty. It's like a meditative beauty to being out on a road like that. It's you and the road. It's hard to explain. It's one of those things you have to do it, and if you do it, you get it. And when you're younger, I think, well, I'll speak for me. When I was younger, it was a test of skill. It was like, how fast can you get through this canyon? How fast can you do these turns? There were roads in L.A., up in the Santa Monica Mountains, that I rode for years, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, wow, you can see the ocean. Because because you're so focused on the road, you're not looking at the scenery. You're thinking about the next corner, and then you get older and slower, and then you're like, oh, wow, this is pretty up here. This is why they come up here. So,
When you're on a Harley versus a Ducati, and there's the motorcycle wave that everybody does, the hand down, that whole thing. Is there a different level of respect?
Harley people, a lot of them will only wave at other Harley people.
No kidding.
I'm not one of those people, but there are Harley people who are so into the culture that they will only wave at another Harley. But other bikes, they wave at everybody. I'll wave at you if you're on a scooter. If you're on two wheels, we're cool.
I was a Vespa guy for a long time, and Harley people would wave to me. And I also noticed as a Vespa owner that actual motorcyclists are the only ones who didn't make fun of me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
because you're on two wheels.
Yeah.
And you get it. You know, if you're on two wheels, you get it. So, I wave at everybody. But, the tough guy Harley image, right? There's a thing they're called the 1%ers. And those are the real outlaw biker Harley people, the Hells Angels and the Vagos and stuff like that. And they have codes and this and that. And I respect that, and I leave it alone. It's like, dude, I ain't getting in a shootout with you over whose motorcycle is cooler. They're into their own thing. But the ones who play dress up and who want to be, it's like, dude, you're not beating anybody up. All right? You saw Sons of Anarchy. Like, here's the thing. Don't tell me how tough you are while you're wearing assless chaps. All right? I can't be afraid of you because your pants have no ass in them. So I'd like to back off, but I think I'll be all right here.
You're gonna be fine. Have you done the Sturgis thing?
I've been to Sturgis twice, both times invited, and somebody told me a long time ago, they said, if you ride a motorcycle once in your life, you have to go to Sturgis.
Yeah, I figured.
And I would say that's absolutely true. It is unreal. It's 500,000 people on their bikes, and
predominantly Harley?
90%, 95% of them are Harleys.
Yeah.
And it's really a weird, funny culture there. And let's be honest, there ain't a lot of brothers at Sturgis. So I was there with my boy Alan Lane. He's from here in Philly. And Indian had invited us, so we're the only two brothers on these Indians with all these guys. And this one guy, he was the coolest guy. He said, man, we're really happy to see you here. It's just good to have you. And we knew what he was saying, and he was the nicest guy. And we were like, man, we feel good. Thank you for welcoming us. And it was a funny, weird experience, but it was cool. It was you never felt like the racist part. You just felt like, they just ain't, and there are black people there, but not a lot of them. You know what I mean? So that part was funny. And then the other thing that's funny is everybody just lets go. Because we were in this T-shirt shop. We're looking at it and we realized, wow, it's a Hell's Angels store. Like it was literally, they run a merch store. And you're like, aren't you guys gangsters? Is it legal for you to sell merch? I didn't know that was a thing. But Sturgis is its own world. We passed a bikini bike wash, and we stopped, and we were like, wow, did you see it? Like, yeah, I saw it. You see it? Yeah, I saw it. What do you think? I don't know, 7 months, 8 months? She was pregnant. She was pregnant in a bikini washing motorcycles. We were like, only at Sturgis.
Wow. Where do all the people stay though? Is there a large?
There are 3 towns. There's Sturgis and I forget the other 2 towns. There's one that we went into that had an airport. That's where we flew into, and they met us there. And so people stay. They take over these 3 cities, and people will rent their lawn for camping.
Okay.
The people who live in Sturgis just rent out any space they can. There's probably a lot of Airbnbs and hotels. There's a huge campground that becomes a city for those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Me, I stay in hotels. I never understood camping, never understood pretending to be homeless. Listen, I work, I have money, they built hotels. There's no reason for me to sleep on the ground in the woods. Thank you. Anyway, so I can't tell you about that.
Right.
What do they call it? The Buffalo Chip. Yeah, that's the big campground. No need for that.
If you're curious about Alonzo Bodden, he's going to be at Helium Comedy Club this weekend. Get tickets Friday and Saturday. I wanted to go back to Vegas for a second. Have you done the Sphere?
I haven't been to the Sphere yet. It's funny. I moved to Vegas and I became a local within like 2 weeks. I ain't going to the Strip. So I go down there when I'm working or if a friend is working. I'm going to hit the Sphere. I want to go to one of the, not the musical concerts, but one of the events where they do like movies and they do the stuff where you could just see the effects of the Sphere.
Not as expensive, and you get a feel for it.
I want to do that. I mean, I guess I'd go if I was really into the band that was there, but like I'm not a deadhead or something. That's who's there. So
has anyone talked to doing a comedy show there yet? And how would that even work?
I don't think anyone has.
Yeah.
It would work. Obviously, any of the big name arena comics could do it. I don't know that it would add to it because the effects and the projection and this, when you're a comic, you want them focused on you. You don't want them looking at the beautiful screens in the background and, there's some guy talking over there. I understand his name's Fluffy. I wonder what he's talking about. No, you don't want that. You want to focus on you.
Yeah, they did the UFC there, and it was a cool kind of gimmick, but I didn't think that really worked. I think it's better for what you were saying, like, you're in the safari or,
Right, it creates an atmosphere.
Yeah, underwater in the Marianas Trench or something, and you get that whole, the enormity of that. That makes more sense. I think it would be, as you said, there are stadium comedians, but I think that's another level of distraction.
Right. There's the Formula One races coming up, and when they did the first one, I guess they had some stuff on the Sphere, and the driver said it was distracting. And they were like, we'll get used to it because this is Vegas.
Have you ever worked a really, really, really big room, done stadiums, things like that? Not stadium, but arenas?
Well, I did the warm-up for the Tom Brady roast at the Forum. So that's probably the biggest.
How did that
venue
feel?
I did. Awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, I could see why Kevin Hart does these things.
Yeah.
No knock against Helium. Don't get me wrong.
Looking back at Meredith.
I love doing them 2 shows. Did I mention I'm not doing 2 shows?
Yeah, you're not doing
Joel
back-to-backs
called
anymore.
me. Joel said, listen, man, you don't have to do both. Just take the money. It's a disconnect, though. Like there's because when that many people laugh, it takes time, and you have to adjust to doing it. Like I know some comics who do arenas, and they're like, yeah, you kind of learn to slow down and do your that's the biggest thing. You have to slow down because it takes long for 15, 20,000 people to laugh.
Yeah, I remember reading Steve Martin's book about his stand-up career. He was like, it got too large. It couldn't work anymore. It was just that people were too far away. That's why he wore those white suits, so people would see him on the stage.
A friend of mine, he was a guitar player for Rod Stewart, and they would do these, ridiculous stadiums and this and that. And he said, man, the best venue is somewhere you can see everyone's eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
and
makes
it was
sense.
like, but a stadium's got to pay better, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. You would imagine.
Give me one a year, one stadium a year, and then I'll get back to the clubs.
All right, well, Alonzo, as he said, is at Helium Comedy Club. Maybe he'll do 2 shows. I don't know.
Who
We'll
knows?
see. But they're scheduled for 7:30 and 10 tonight and tomorrow. But get your tickets because you will not be disappointed. Man, we love having you come by here.
Thank you, guys. I love doing this show, and I always say it when I'm here, but it's really true, man. Just old school radio where I'm actually talking to people. It's not pre-programmed or automatic or anything. So you guys just keep doing this. I mean, seriously, like forever. Like, take care of yourselves.
All
You
right.
understand? Stay healthy. We don't want anything to happen to you. Whatever you do, don't follow Joel Embiid's health regimen.
We won't do that.
It's just
not working.
What's it like? What's it like being like the 10th man on the bench? And you got to show up every game, and you're watching a guy with hundreds of million. I ain't playing tomorrow. Really? Because I am. They didn't ask me which games I want to play. I want to play in every one of them. I just don't get it. Man, I hope he's not listening. That's an ass whipping I can't take. I'm too old for that. But I have a friend who's a surgeon who'll put me back together.
That's right. You got that. All right, man.
Love
Great
you guys.
to see Alonzo Bodden, guys. Helium Comedy Club. Get those tickets. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Was able to overtake me at that point.
We need to talk.
Wait, and how much older were you?
I'm 7 years older than he was, but I remember him
At
getting
12, 13, he could,
yeah, because he started playing hockey when he was 6 or 7 years old.
Wow.
Those 2 things I wish I'd wrestled when I was young.
You had a 7-year-old beating you up when you were 14?
No,
he
pay
was 13.
attention.
He was 17,
I
getting
like your
beaten up by a
girlfriend.
12-year-old.
I like your girlfriend.
Oh, he was getting the girls.
I'm going to take her.
Yeah, Josh was much cooler.
I'm going to make you watch.
He's 7.
Honestly, you would not think that a 7-year-old would possess the kind of strength necessary to beat up a much older. I guess at that point he was a man. But apparently the 7-year-old just throttled him.
Pierre might need some assistance.
What's happening?
The lid on his coffee is about to fall off, and he's got his hand.
I know, Pierre, you were a little sick, a little congested. You sounded yesterday.
Yes.
Are you fighting something, or is it full blown?
No, it just over the weekend I got some kind of a
Bishop
little cold
Robert,
thing.
by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your hat was pointed exactly in the shape of a Catholic bishop.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm a bit disheveled.
Just a bit. His shirt is falling off.
What makes you say that, honey bunny? You dress me every day.
His hair is shooting out forward today, which is wild.
You know, I'm a little scattered, which is not normal for me because I'm sharp as a tack.
Honestly.
50 bags in the Tommy Tuck.
50 bags in the Tommy Tuck.
And the Tommy Tuck.
Yes.
There's a fresh one for
I think
us.
most people, when they see you like this in the morning, they assume West Point cadet.
Exactly. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that vote of confidence from a fellow military man.
So today is National DJ Day, Disc Jockey Day.
I heard you. I only heard the last part of it, and I think you were alluding to my various meltdowns. Were you not?
They're hilarious because
Marissa howls. The interns cower, and Marissa will just laugh in my face because I'll make a little boo boo, and then we'll be right back after this. Off mic.
Dude, You just said it. I was stretching. I didn't have my hand anywhere near the button. Lord.
Sorry about that.
Oh my God!
I meant to say
that's
the
exactly
other
what
word.
you do. Yes, mother effing.
Mother effing,
You just
and then
gave us a really dramatic presentation.
It just came right out.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you wake up in my body.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Really? And what's that?
My temporary tooth just popped out.
Oh my God! Steve's tooth just fell out.
Oh, that is too perfect.
I didn't know you had a temporary tooth.
Oh yeah. The postman did. Can you see that?
How did it come out?
I don't know.
You don't have food in your mouth. Nothing.
No.
Can you smile for me?
Shoot.
What are you gonna do?
Now we gotta look at that all morning.
Oh, knock it off, you.
Wait, can I see your tooth?
There it is.
I don't want to see that. That disgusts me.
I can't believe your tooth.
Casey's losing it.
It feels so effed up.
Oh no.
Yeah, they put the post in and everything, so I gotta.
So what are you supposed to have an implant? Is that?
Yeah.
So that's there until
the implant will go in. It'll go in. So I guess I'll be going to Dr. Petula. I wondered why my little. I was drinking hot chocolate, my coffee.
Did you feel it?
A little squirt came out. I'm like, why would that happen?
Oh my God. We should all just go home.
That's too funny.
Oh, hey, Steve. Thank you for my birthday present.
Well, you poor
about to see.
At least you're laughing at it.
Oh.
Well, there are worse things that could happen, certainly. My nuts could have fallen off. Yeah, I'll have to take
man.
that. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Seriously. It's a Mickey Rourke look I'm rocking today.
Yeah, are we going to be able to do the show?
I don't know.
No, I think I can. You just might hear a few S's that sound a little bit.
I can't look at you. I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you all day. Oh my God, we're falling apart. We are literally falling apart.
We just started.
Oh,
It's so early.
I'm drinking the mocha, and I'm like, wow, why is that dribbling? And then,
Wait, where is it?
What?
The tooth.
Marissa brought him a cup.
Who doesn't have a tooth cup in the morning?
Oh my God.
It's too funny.
Oh no.
There may be random moments of laughter today, of just in the middle of whatever we have.
I'm just glad I can't see me.
But like you said, when he uses S.
Yes.
Sassafras. That's all right.
Wait, but how does it it just stays in normally?
It's secured in, so it's and that's until
not so secure. Now.
What happened was that I was chewing something last night, and I thought I might have felt a crack, but I'm like, no, it's fine. So
okay, so that was
it's not a chewer. It's a
no,
it's not a chewer.
No, it's a biter.
It's a biter. Yeah.
Do we need to maybe Cho's sells like denture glue or something? Maybe we can try that.
All I know is that if I'm going to have any dental work done, I want it to be done through Cho's.
Steve, I can't look at you.
I can't see it. The microphone's in the way, so I'm good over here. I can have a conversation with him. You guys can look at each other.
Steve finally saw it.
Did he finally?
It is pretty funny.
Hey, I got some apples. You like some apples?
You want an apple?
It's like your Billy Bob teeth.
Oh God!
Oh, you should put the Billy Bob teeth.
You should wear those.
I got some dentures for you.
In case you came prepared.
These have been in my mouth. I'm sure you don't want them.
No. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's try to do the show.
Okay.
Where were we? What?
Gave away the.
You did the stupid question, right?
Crazy glue. No, I'm looking at some of these calls coming in. Yeah, we did the stupid question. So he gets Lego Marvel's Avengers, which is available for PlayStation 4, all platforms, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All right. So, dear God. All right. So at the box office this weekend, number one was The Revenant.
Yes.
16. Yes. I know, man. It's sad.
Your lungs are full of mucus. My tooth fell out.
Our pets' heads are falling off!
We're going to have to remind people of that all morning long.
It's too good.
Yeah. It's been a rough week for the ladies in Charlie Sheen's life following last week's revelation that his ex-wife Brooke Mueller is back in rehab. He's
For
now,
the, 15th time? 15th?
All right, you have to stop. He's
no
not
way.
going to be able to get through the show.
I just
You
have
laugh
to. I
every
have to.
time.
Now I have to take it. I have to explore different letters.
We're not going to make it through 7 a.m.
S's are fine, but F's are a problem.
Yeah. Farfignugan.
Oh my God.
This is going to be the worst show we've ever done.
no, it's not.
No, that's saying
it's
a
going to
lot.
be brilliant. I could never, ever, ever, ever do live stage acting. I can't even do it on camera when you get multiple takes. There's no way.
We're hoping to one day master radio.
I'm so self-conscious of don't mess it up. That I will mess it up.
But when I was in high school, we started if you had a lead, you started in June, July, rehearsing your lines and everything.
I guess maybe if you have enough rehearsal. I mean, anything I've ever attempted to do, I've had very little rehearsal on, and I'm like,
yeah.
Even when we, excuse me.
Again, here we are, perfecting radio.
Dude. That was.
You sound like snots.
I'm nervous.
That was mid-word.
That was.
That would have been your Colonel Jessup scene.
Right. You can't handle the. Excuse me.
I've had to recently, go to the bathroom outside. When we were driving up to Maine and Boston this summer, I had to, my family went into McDonald's and I was outside with the dog. And I found it ironic that it was fine that the dog was peeing outside, but I actually had to hide the fact that I was peeing outside. But there are...
Dogs get away with everything.
They do. But there are secrets, so, or tricks to the trade of, peeing outside. All right.
With this model, this life-size model that we have here.
Mandingo's twin.
We have two of them?
Dan Dingo.
Yes, we have Caucasian and we have...
Yeah, there's Mandingo and Dan Dingo.
So what you can't do is lean up against something like you're clearly or hide behind a bush so you're clearly going to the bathroom. What you have to do is kind of be out in the open. You still want to shield your junk.
You want to have your back
Wait
to
a
the
second.
people.
All right, so describe the environment that you're in where you're pulling this off.
This is where people are, right?
All right, so people are there?
Where are you?
You are people. All right. You are people in a parking lot.
And never forget
parking
it.
lot.
All right. And then behind me is not people.
Okay.
All right. So I'm on my phone. Junk out. You can see my junk is out. I am now on a phone.
Now, no, there's no wires. We've never met before.
So clearly,
Look, watch.
I got one hand on the phone up to my ear, not talking to anybody. And then my other hand, which would normally be on my piece, aiming.
On your bird.
This hand is now up here,
You know what? It works.
Hold on, but don't you have to hold it? Won't it go wild?
No, it's not like a hose that
It's
you
not?
turn on at high pressure, Kathy.
Have you ever encountered one?
No. Still waiting for that magical night.
It's flipping all over the place.
It's a little bit crazy.
walk a little bit.
So you're like Chris Angel.
Yeah.
You're like an illusion.
A little bit.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense.
I don't know if I could do that technique or not.
I know what he's saying, though, because you're using the simple art of deception and distraction.
I had something I wanted to bring up. Do we all agree that Kathy's a beautiful woman?
She is a beautiful woman.
Very, very attractive.
What are you bringing up?
What? Nothing that I think is
the odor.
bad.
The odor.
No, you have Kathy's got a pretty face.
Yes,
no question. But do any of us agree that Kathy does suffer from resting bitch face?
All right, Danae, you're smiling. See, that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the hard part. But if you catch her
not smile
when she's like doing work or on a laptop or something like that.
See, okay, and I'm interested to hear what you guys say because I would have never thought that I had resting bitch face.
And I might. Yeah,
she's
making a face.
No, what?
What?
That's not bitch. I don't know what that is.
I don't know if I think she has resting bitch face. I see she has sort of. I sit next to her in the office, and it seems just kind of neutral when you're doing your deal. I wouldn't say you look particularly bitchy.
We have a picture here of you, Kathy, just being
So do you think that looks
in a
bitchy?
neutral face. I think sometimes you look like you're a little angry.
Well, I think you're an a-hole.
Oh.
No, I'm
that.
just kidding. Now I'm gonna rest like this.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And it's brought to you by College Ave. You can take the stress out of paying for college with a private student loan built for your family's budget and goals. Get college covered today at collegeave.com. All right, listen to this idiot. An 18-year-old from Lancaster, California, Alan W. Fillion, has pleaded guilty to a spree of swatting incidents that injected fear across the nation. Fillion admitted to making over 375 hoax calls.
Wow.
Targeting institutions ranging from schools to religious establishments, along with individuals and government officials. His actions carried the threat of mass violence, positioning himself as a formidable danger to communities from coast to coast. And he now faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison for each count.
Yes, I was going to say.
Of making interstate threats to injure another person, and the sentencing has yet to be scheduled. The events validate the Justice Department's vow to prosecute individuals who perpetrate these threats. And according to the plea agreement, Fillion's swatting campaign lasted from August 2022 to this past January. And the 18-year-old leveraged his criminal activities for swatting services for hire, advertising his venture on social media platforms as well.
Swatting business.
Yeah.
Would you like someone swatted? I'll handle all the details.
Where people could easily get and have been killed by law enforcement because they think it's a threat and people don't know what's going on and there's confusion, and it is insanely dangerous. This guy did it 375 times.
By the way, when you're detouring the officers to one location, they're not able to respond to other locations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a horrible thing to do.
All right, when 50-year-old Lauren Spencer goes to sleep, she turns into a completely different person. Spencer suffers from a rare sleep condition that causes her to, quote, initiate sex while she's asleep. So to combat this, she is forced to lock herself in a room and even put a cable on the door if she's spending the night around friends to keep from trying to hump one or more of them or just a random stranger while she's in dreamland.
So she sleep apps.
Yeah. So, or at least simulates it.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby. Oh, yeah.
So she locks herself in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to keep her from doing
her sleeping self from getting out.
From doing this to other people. With their kids grown, Spencer lives alone with her husband, Charlie, who doesn't seem to mind when
we need to invite your friend over.
wife's other persona comes out at night to play.
So and she's not a werewolf. She's like a whore wolf.
A whore wolf, if you will. Devotees at a temple in India lined up to drink the water dripping from an elephant sculpture, believing that it was holy water from the feet of Lord Krishna, but actually it was just condensation from the temple's air conditioning.
Still magical. Magical.
Video showing dozens of people queuing in front of a wall-mounted elephant statue to drink the liquid dripping from it once again brought into the spotlight the barrier between religious devotion and critical thinking or even common sense.
This is coming from the Mitsubishi god.
It was reported that all these people believed the liquid to be Sharan Amrit, which is a sacred water from the feet of Lord Krishna, when in fact it was merely condensation.
Okay, so we're looking at the setup, and I guess is there a unit above it, or is it just general condensation?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Drinking air conditioning condensation may seem harmless, but experts warn that AC units harbor all sorts of bacteria and fungi that can cause serious health problems. While some praised the unwavering faith of the devotees, others criticized them for being so gullible as to mistake air conditioning condensation for a real-life miracle.
It's like when you kiss the Blarney Stone, you're like, oh boy.
Upon learning the truth, many of the devotees waiting to try the so-called Sharan Amrit were disappointed and ultimately blamed the temple for failing to explain this quote-unquote miracle to them.
That's good elephant.
In a bizarre twist on smuggling, Argentine police arrested a cigarette trafficker who disguised himself as a water plant to cross a river from Paraguay.
So like one of those big plants.
Yeah, so the man camouflaged with leaves and artificial plants floated toward police in the dark, pushing 200 packs of contraband cigarettes tied to his body under a wire mesh.
I can't talk. I'm a water plant.
Officers shone a light on the suspiciously fast-moving plant, revealing the smuggler, who was promptly all the way. It's just a bush.
Yeah,
it's only a bush.
If you're gonna smuggle, though, I approve of his choice. If you're in the water,
dubbed Aquaman by social media, the smuggler
moron
will face charges after his unusual river crossing attempt. So he has been busted. All right, and then we'll do. Let's see, we got time for another one, I think here. How about? Ooh, this is messed up. Florida officials launched an investigation after a human head washed ashore on Key Biscayne, south of Miami Beach on Tuesday. This reminded me of Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey.
The Miami-Dade Police Department said that it received a call by a worker who reported the discovery. Responding officers said the worker was raking the beach when, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
We found a head.
They say that if you find a head on the beach and you hold your ear up to the ear of the head, you can hear the ocean.
Authorities confirmed that it belonged to a person, and a section of the beach was cordoned off with yellow police tape for the investigation. The medical examiner will be working along homicide detectives to identify the person while the investigation continues. Discovery comes a month after a 31-year-old model's body was found floating near Key Biscayne after she drowned while partying on a yacht. So a lot of nasty stuff happening there. And there you go. That is what I have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. As we take a break, we hope you will stay right where you are because we have a lesson question. We'll find out if you've been listening to the program. And we'll get to trash and music news too, so stay with us. Be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.
Hey, Preston.
That's worse. That's worse.
Kathy's mood is the toughest, I think, to crack. I thought you had your period last week.
Well, I was going to say that because you guys don't know. You don't know when I'm PMSing, which I cannot figure out why.
We just.
I guess it's because I'm always a bitch.
She was saying
I'll
something.
turn to you and say, "Is this the week you don't have your period?"
she would say something, and I look. Casey just goes, "Are you on your period?"
He mouthed it in the meeting. I laughed.
Kathy,
But if I was PMSing, I wouldn't have laughed.
We are going to do a game that is called Young versus Younger. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take the young, which would be members of the Preston and Steve Show.
Yeah, right.
And the younger, our Preston and Steve intern staff. So it's very simple. We have Chris, and we have Aish, and we have Brianna, and we have Sammy who are here. And what we're going to do is Marissa made a list of various things from different generations. So there's abbreviations, there's terms, there are people, all from a different generation. I have things from the Preston and Steve Show's generation, and I have things from the intern age's generation. All right, guys, the younger crew. What is a flash cube? A flash cube. Do we have all our answers written down?
Yep.
All right. Brianna?
Yes.
Okay. Chris?
I guess it was one of those scrolly cameras that you got at like CVS that you got developed when you used to go on vacation.
Like a box camera you're talking about? Yeah. Okay.
Disposable camera?
Yeah, disposable camera. All right.
Yeah. Is that right?
That is incorrect. All right. So I'm sorry, listener Matt, you lose. All right. Aish is playing for Bob on line 2. Aish, what is a flash cube?
A cube that flashes. I really don't know.
Be more specific. A cube that flashes for what?
Oh, for a camera. Like a
I'll give her that.
Is it really?
She's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the actual definition is a cube with a bulb that attaches to each side of a camera and takes 4 pictures in succession. A flash cube. You used to stick it on top of the camera, and you would take the picture, and it would flash, and you could only use 4 then. You'd have to throw it away.
All right.
All right. So we move on now to the young.
The young-ish.
You guys.
Sort of. Minus Steve.
All right. What is this? What is a, what's a boif?
A boif.
Yeah, B-O-Y-F.
B-O-Y-F?
Boif.
Finished.
Okay. Nick, you are playing for listener Arnold. What is a boif?
It's your boyfriend.
Yeah, that's correct. Short for boyfriend. Yeah. Kathy, what do you have?
Boyfriend.
All right, Mary, you win too. Steve, what do you have?
Boyfriend.
That's right. And Casey, what do you have?
Boyfriend.
Yes, everybody wins. Zach, Joe, Mary, and Arnold. And that means 4 points for the young team. And let me see what we have here. What is a Rolodex? Oh. So we are going to go to Aish, who's playing for listener Frank. What's a Rolodex?
A Segway?
No.
Segway.
It rolls.
Exactly.
All right,
Rolls across decks.
I'm sorry, Frank, you lose. All right, listener Ryan is playing with Brianna. Brianna, what's a Rolodex?
This is embarrassing. I said a game.
A game.
No.
All right.
And then Sammy, you're playing for listener Dan. What's a Rolodex?
I put phone numbers in a rolly thing because I didn't know how to describe
I'll take it. Phone numbers in a rolling thing. I thought somebody was going to say a watch. You guys ready?
Yes, ready.
What is BYOD?
Okay.
BYOD. Jot it down and let's see if you know. All right, let's go to, first we'll try Casey out, and he's playing for listener Alan. Casey, what is BYOD?
It's bring your own. I wrote date.
No, that's incorrect. I'm sorry. Alan, you lose. Steve is playing for listener Mike. Steve, what is BYOD?
I wrote bring your own drugs.
No, that is incorrect.
Good
Mike is
thing.
out. Kathy's playing for Gina. Kathy?
I got it.
What?
Bring your own doll.
No.
Kathy's a half.
Cow got in there somehow.
The cow.
Nick,
I have fat fingers.
you're playing for listener Paul. BYOD.
Bring your own dad.
No.
Is it drink?
Hang on. No. Let's ask the interns. Brianna, you look like you know.
I believe it's bring your own dog.
No.
No.
Aish,
I
you know?
have no idea.
Is it bring your own dip?
No.
Bring your own dip.
It's like a Super Bowl party.
How
like, bring
come
your
all
own
these nobody knows these younger
dip parties.
phrases?
I think because maybe Marissa's not as young as she thinks she is.
It stands for bring your own device. An IT policy where employees are allowed to use their personal mobile devices and notebooks to access enterprise data and systems. Harper Lee, who wrote one of America's most enduring literary classics, To Kill a Mockingbird, of course, about a child's view of right and wrong, and waited 55 years to publish the second book with the same characters from a very different point of view, died at the age of 89 on Friday.
Yeah, I was surprised to see this.
Yeah. For many years, Lee, a shy woman with an engaging southern drawl who never married, lived
We were pretty much allowed to go.
lived quietly and privately, always turning down interview requests. She alternated between living.
She ran a laser tag place.
Oh,
yeah. That was her thing.
They got to do something.
We were very fond of the game laser tag, which simulated actual combat without the actual casualties. Through the use of science and technology, you could stalk your prey and virtually assassinate them without causing any physical harm.
But the guns, they kind of go pew,
They go,
pew,
pew,
pew.
pew, pew. I got you. Commander Harper Lee reporting for Intergalactic Battalion. Wouldn't that be the wildest thing? She ran a laser tag place? Harper Lee's laser tags on Route 14.
No, she like did TV commercials for them and everything.
Yeah,
So
it's intergalactic fun. That's the sound of excitement.
Oh my! Oh God!
I guess they don't want to report on that part of her life.
Oh God! No.
Into the space shuttle. Next stop, fun.
It's terrible. So anyhow, she lived quietly and privately. She alternated between living in a New York apartment and Monroeville, where she shared a home with her older sister, lawyer Alice Lee, who is the one
That's this one.
We were pretty much allowed to go.
Any of you guys read Go Set a Watchman, the second one?
No.
It's
I heard, it didn't get stupendous reviews.
It's too bad. Yeah. This is a terrible thing to say.
What?
She just should have done the one.
Well, I think this was wasn't this cobbled together without her consent?
That's sort of where it was frustrating because
she wrote this before.
Yeah, right, and then it takes place after To Kill a Mockingbird. But I think it was one of those things.
In a future society where laser guns rule.
It takes a turn.
Just spotted a Death Destroyer. Nice try, Glaxon. We figured out how to remotely turn your shields off.
I want to live with this for a while. I believe we had this gentleman in our studio at our old radio station worked at probably a dozen years ago or so.
I think to promote a movie, we're Up the Creek, right?
Without a paddle.
Without a paddle.
Come on!
Man.
Son of a bitch!
Without a paddle with Seth Green and with Dax Shepard.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a fan.
Yeah.
All three were in the studio.
No, I don't believe you. You didn't get the name right.
I got the idea right.
No,
You're Up the Creek without a paddle.
Everybody, this is Matthew Lillard.
Hi, everyone. You have a lot of people in here.
Yeah. We got some barbecue, too. If you're hungry, man, grab a bite to eat.
You're awfully fancy.
We tried to be.
Hey, how do you like doing the convention? I know you've done your share of conventions, and you have a couple of things that really put you in that realm between Scream and the Scooby-Doo stuff and 13 Ghosts and all that stuff.
I'm in a lot of bad movies that people like. That's what you're saying.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm in a lot of bad movies. There's no doubt about that. I'm in more bad movies than your average actor.
See, I don't think you can call them bad. You
don't know the name of any of them. You make eye contact with me and you name off 10 without looking at that computer screen.
No,
don't do that.
I can't do
everyone
10.
on the air just turned off.
Tell us about your involvement with Anonymous and what that was all about.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
It's the most famous I've ever been. It's like this week.
So Anonymous, this hacker
I'm
group.
so excited.
Yeah, what happened?
Hacktivists. These Anonymous are world famous hackers, and they hacked in last week to Donald Trump's outgoing message, and they changed the outgoing message to saying something like in a Shaggy voice.
Yeah.
I'm actor Matthew Lillard, who plays Shaggy.
Show Friday morning. I would like to mention that Lincoln Park is our featured artist this weekend. In fact, you know what? I don't have much of music news, so I'm going to hold on to that. I'll give you the full details in just a moment or two. But there's something else I do want to tell you about. Actually, a couple of things. It has to do with the Camp Out for Hunger. Sunday is the Fill-A-Trunk Camp Out car show and food drive at the Wells Fargo Center parking lot, and it's hosted by the Porsche Club of America. Our good friend Jeff Walton stopped by the other day, and it's in conjunction with Mainline Cars and Coffee. You can get registered. The entry fee is your donation of food in your trunk, frunk, or bed of your truck. And the weather's going to be good. Sunday is like 65 degrees, partly cloudy skies.
Yes.
Great for this time of year. Actually, just exemplary for this time of year. So go to that if you can. You can go to WMMR.com/campout and all the information is right there. And also a reminder of the high school initiative. We have $5,000 to give away, and you can use that towards your senior trip or prom or any school initiative you might have. All we need is a minimum of 500 pounds of food at this year's event, and you can enter to win. It's courtesy of College Ave, a better way to pay for college. So if you're a go-getter at the school and you want to organize this type of thing, please do that. We'd love to see you. And you'll just be, and no matter what you bring, if it's 500 pounds or more, you'll be entered into it. But why not try and go big? Give us a whole,
Absolutely.
make a big food drive.
Yeah. We would love it. And the people who are going to end up eating the food and your donations, they're going to love it that much more.
Absolutely. So that information is also available at WMMR.com. All right, lesson question time. And we are going to give away, let's see, we have tickets, Flyers tickets for Dollar Dog Night, which is coming up on Monday against the Colorado Avalanche. And the question that we will ask is this: what dessert does Casey prefer to frozen yogurt? Let's see if you can say it. All right. What dessert does Casey prefer to frozen yogurt? Let's see if you remember how he said that. 215-263-WMMR. Call now. We will do the trash while you are calling.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, it's brought to you by Horizon Services. Don't worry about a faulty heating system this season. Relax and schedule a visit from Horizon Services today. And you get a new heating and cooling system with no payments and 0% interest till 2025. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, after 15 seasons, CBS's The Talk will air its last episode in mid-December. And although the afternoon topic-driven talk show never won a Daytime Emmy, it was also never nominated for a Daytime Emmy.
Oh, my God.
Kim Kardashian opening up about co-parenting her children with ex-husband Kanye West, saying he does not pull his weight. Kim says she is often the only one calling the nanny to find out how their kids are doing. And finally, Denzel Washington not happy that a scene in which he kisses another man was cut from Gladiator 2. Denzel says cutting the scene removed all context for the following docking scene. That's a Hollywood track.
All right, let's see if you do indeed know what Casey prefers to frozen yogurt. All right, let's go to the phones. I have Tom on the line. Hey, Tom, good morning, buddy.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? All right, Tom, what does Casey prefer to frozen yogurt?
Yogan Frozer.
Yogan, no. You got to get this one right. Sorry about that, Tom. All right, we'll go to Walt and see if he knows. Hey, Walt. Hey. All right, so what does Casey prefer to frozen yogurt?
Casey prefers frozen yogurt.
Yes, that's it. Frogan Yozert. Walt, hang on. We got tickets for you to go to the Flyers game. Dollar Dog Night, Monday, November 18th, against the Colorado Avalanche. You can get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
I challenge our vast array of culinary listeners and people who are wizards in the kitchen to create Frogan Yozer.
Frogan Yozer.
And my mind is reeling at the possibilities.
Yes. All right, let's get into music.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Helium Comedy Club, bringing laughs to Philly for many years. Helium Comedy has the best comics of today and tomorrow live every week. And tickets and lineup at heliumcomedy.com. A scant couple of things to mention.
We like scant.
Ryan Reynolds shared a deleted scene from a Deadpool and Wolverine Instagram. I talked about this the other day, but what I didn't mention was the fact that it's to the tune of Never Gonna Be Alone by Nickelback. And with the clip, Reynolds said in the post, Siri, find deleted half-baked montage featuring one of the greatest bands on earth and Hugh totally nailing his 4 words of dialogue. And it's not news that Reynolds is a huge fan of Nickelback. He taped a video message for the group's induction into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame at the Juno Awards.
Yeah, it's Chad Kroger's birthday today, yes?
It is.
Yeah.
And so in Canada, if you become an international band, you're even that much bigger in Canada, obviously.
And it's well-deserved.
Yeah.
The flashpoint for us was realizing that they get the whole Nickelback thing and having fun with it.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out, it's not by accident that they have so many hits.
Yeah, they know how to write music that people respond to, and that, friends, is not an easy thing to do. But Ryan Reynolds sharing that with a Deadpool and Wolverine post, I thought that was kind of fun. And then just one other thing, it's a Linkin Park weekend. The MM artist this weekend is Linkin Park, and we celebrate the return of Linkin Park with a new tour and the new album From Zero. They are going to be playing August 16th at the Wells Fargo Center, and you can listen to win tickets throughout this weekend. Every MMR Weekend Warrior is going to have a pair of tickets to give away, so make sure that you tune in all weekend long. We're also going to have double shots. Including select tracks from the new album. The new album, it just became available today via Warner Records. So WMMR.com has all the information, including the pre-sale password and other chances to win yourself some tickets. All right, and that's it in music news. We'll take a break. When we return, we wrap it up. Our Word of the Week prize, yes, we will give that away, and maybe that will be to you. So we'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
go check me out at, and gave these 2 web pages that
It's really
but I was
funny.
like, somebody, I was directing something, and somebody came up and was like, you just hacked Donald Trump. I was like, amazing.
These are the
I
guys.
gotta tell you, I am so happy to be that guy. I'm so happy. I was like, anytime, bro, you want to roll and bring down the Trumpster, I'm in.
These guys are taking on ISIS too.
I think they're the new era superhero. I mean, look, they do some messed up stuff. I'm sure that people don't agree with everything they do, but.
Can I ask you though, a connection? You were in a movie years ago, Hackers.
Sure, yeah. Hack the planet,
do you
baby.
think
Hack
that's
the planet.
Do you think that's what the connection
I don't know,
is?
but I wish they would have said, hey, this is Matthew Lillard, serial killer from Hackers. That would have been like, made sense. I think it was just like, hey, dude, what impression do you do? I don't know, I do Shaggy. And then some dude's like, all right, bro.
You mean there
Let's
wasn't?
do it. I mean, it was so, like, there was no, I don't
There was
think
no
a lot
committee
of-
meeting or anything
No, I
like
don't think Anonymous got together and said, well, who should we represent? What about the great actor? I mean, I think that they were just a bunch of loaded up kids going, let's get it.
A couple of quick questions, because you worked with some of my favorite directors, Wes Craven and
God bless
John
his
Waters.
heart.
Yeah, who just passed away recently. But you worked on Serial Mom with John Waters.
Sure. He was my first. The first day of work I ever had by myself. The first note he gave me, he said, do it again, but don't do it so effeminate. But he didn't use that word.
Okay. John Waters.
Really? Yeah.
Who's John Waters?
From John Waters. Like, do it again, but don't do it so effy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wasn't doing effy. Bro, I was not doing it. That was the first, to come from acting school to a John Waters set and not so effy. I was like, it was the most humiliating kind of moment of my life.
Well, it's a great movie. It ended up being just
It is. My mom at the premiere, I was like, my first film, and we're in the black tie because it was this thing for a fundraiser for kids. And we're in black tie. My mom's in the back of the limo. My dad's in the back. And I get in the car, and I said to my mom, I was like, so, what'd you think? And my dad's like, I loved it. My sister's like, I loved it. And my mom's like, nah. So to this day, the only thing I ever remember is my mom going, it was okay.
Great to see you,
You
Matthew.
guys, thanks. I thought I was gonna be here for like 2 minutes. So thank you so much for revealing my life to the entire people
Actually,
of
wait,
Philly.
real quick, we have your first grade teacher right out here in the green room. Bring him in. Bring him in. No. Thank you,
Thanks,
Matthew.
guy. I
Great to see you. Matthew Lillard, everybody. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner seem friendlier than ever on their family ski vacation with Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen.
Okay, here's again. I think they're going to get back together.
Is that your Tom Brady laugh or your Ben Affleck laugh? What is that?
No. This is his new laugh that he wants to do on the show when he thinks something is funny, and I'm not kidding you.
Did
told
he tell
me this
you?
yesterday, and he displayed it for me, or he gave me a little treat, a little taste of it.
I can verify Kathy's story because I was standing alongside of them both when this was presented.
And I'm pretty sure I just walked away. I'm not sure how I responded.
No, you kissed me.
First there was
Kiss me on the mouth.
a painful grunt from Kathy, and then she walked away.
This is material you've been working on?
He's jealous because he thinks Marissa came up with a new laugh, so now he wants one.
Really?
That's what I think.
I'm not jealous.
But is that why you're doing it?
Is that Marissa's new laugh?
Marissa. Well, actually, it's gone away for a little while. I think maybe Marissa was hanging out with some people who laugh like, and she developed that.
Marissa has a supersonic.
Oh my God. When she actually, when you crack up, it is so loud it hurts.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's her genuine laugh. It's like just a squeal and then it's
loud
over.
and convulsive and
But it's segued to
why don't you laugh like Burgess Meredith is the penguin?
So now we have Casey's new laugh.
No, but
Go ahead, let's hear it.
No, so the genesis of it was I was watching the red carpet for the Grammys on Monday night.
Yeah.
And you had these two talking heads on the TV.
Who were horrible.
They were terrible. And somebody said something that wasn't funny, and then they both laughed. And then so I was like,
So that was your mocking laugh.
that was my mocking laugh. I was there with my kids.
Well, I tell you what, laugh authentically if you think something's funny in your regular, normal laugh, and then you can float that in occasionally in a mocking fashion.
All right.
All right.
The other option would be too dumb to go with.
I'm a wheeze laugher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's, you got me when you hear.
Yeah.
I saw this story, Steve. You'd offhandedly mentioned Dachau.
Yes.
I did. I picked up on that, but I wanted to flesh that story out before I moved on to the Hitler stuff. But 2 historians have claimed that they have proof that Adolf Hitler suffered from an embarrassing secret medical condition. In their new book, which is called Hitler's Last Day, Minute by Minute, historians Jonathan Mayo and Emma Craigie claim that they have discovered medical records proving that the fascist dictator had a condition known as hypospadias, which results in abnormally small and deformed genitalia, sometimes referred to as micropenis.
Micropenis. Hitler had micropenis. So this on top of what you reported, I think, about a year and a half ago, that he had incredibly horrific gas problems.
He had real intestinal issues. He was a vegetarian, which
Tiny
actually
penis and gas.
They didn't know at the time actually exacerbated his problem.
Sure, yeah, he was
tiny penis. He had one testicle. This dude, no wonder.
This was a despot in the It's a perfect mix of what goes into making a completely deranged lunatic.
I honestly wonder how much of his demented view on the world had to do with the medical problems he had. He obviously had mental problems as well. But
it was just, but it was all listen, if this is all as true as they're saying it is, that's certainly a stew that creates this kind of lunatic.
Hitler himself is believed to have had 2 forms of genital abnormality, an undescended testicle and a rare condition called penile hypospadias, in which the urethra opens on the underside of the unit.
What?
Yeah. Recently,
I pee out of a small hole near my taint. Time to invade Poland.
Wow,
I'll show you what it's like.
he declared it. Recently, a German historian also claimed they had evidence that Hitler only had one testicle. By the way, there was a song in 1939 called "Hitler Has Only Got One Ball."
What?
Wow. Who sung that?
Want me to read you the lyrics?
Yeah.
Right. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. His mother, the dirty bitch, cut it off when he was small. Hitler has only got one ball. Goering has 2, but very small. Himmler has something similar, but poor old Goebbels has no balls at all. That was a song in 1939.
Who sang that? Bing Crosby?
No, it was Weird Al Yankovic.
Really? Yankovic.
Yeah.
The earlier. God almighty. That's heavy.
20 minutes after 10 o'clock. We're ending kind of early, which I'm surprised at, because we had 2 really great guests. We had some long segments and everything, but it's me. It's the music news. I didn't have much in music.
No.
That's what did it.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say I noticed we were saying words in a shorter way today.
That must have been it.
Is that what it was?
I'm just amazed that I'm holding in my hand right now a joint that Jaleel White gave me today. How about that?
That's
pretty
a
special day at work when Urkel gives you a joint.
How ingenious, though, to travel with samples. Yeah. I mean, the purple Urkel thing cracks me up. And it apparently is doing well for him.
It's such a funny business, man. And that's kind of why I asked him about it, because they start and stop dispensaries all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he opened it up 3 years ago, and that, in my mind, could have meant that it closed 2 years ago, but it's still going strong.
Oddly enough, with it in its legal state and the state of California specifically, they are still combating the illegal growers. In fact, now more than ever. So people who don't go the legal route are still a problem.
Yep, but I got a joint.
You got a joint for Merkel.
Thank you. And thank you, Jaleel White.
Yeah.
You know
for
you
being
should do
here. Super nice guy. And just, I can't wait to read the whole book.
He's terrific. A, and B, what you should do, Preston, is do the joint and that tab of acid that Alf gave you.
Yeah. Boy, who knows what that'll do? I mean, it's alien.
It's alien acid.
By the way, Jaleel has a couple of appearances in the area Saturday. Tomorrow, he'll be at Soul Joel's Sunnybrook at 1 o'clock. And then on Sunday, he's going to be at the Wilmington Public Library, and that will be at noon. So stop by and see him, man. He's just super approachable and just an entertaining guy. So it was nice to have him by here today. Speaking of entertaining, Alonzo Bodden is here. Alonzo's awesome. So easy to talk to. He's hilarious. You'll love his show if you go see him at Helium Comedy Club. He's there this weekend. And also, I want to reiterate, we were on 6ABC this morning. It's something that we now do on Friday mornings. We check in with Matt and Tam. Today was Aliana Gomez. But we had mentioned that we have been invited to be in the Thanksgiving Day Parade with 6ABC on Thanksgiving Day morning. So we are going to be on a float in the parade. Pretty exciting stuff. So
it's been something I've always wanted to do. My wife is, and we have family members that are going to come down as well to sort of witness the parade from that perspective. Excellent. I've always looked forward to doing this.
Yeah. So thank you to 6ABC for having us on board. All right, we need to do the letter of the day, and Casey's going to do that for us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now the Daily Letter. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
D, as in Dallas sucks.
All right. And we'll take caller number 3, as in D's nuts. 215-263-WMMR. Rhymes with 3.
It do.
That's right. Yeah, it do. So let's take caller number 3, and we'll see if you know the word of the week. Sorry.
Oh, wait. There's lots of stuff going on here, and I got to turn off channels. My bad.
That's all good, man. So normally we talk to Pierre here to kill a little bit of time.
But
while
he's
waiting
still
for the caller. But hey, we ended early.
I know.
It's not his fault, without question. So let's see. I already mentioned these things about Camp Out. Just reiterating that we're getting ready for Camp Out for Hunger, and there's a lot going on, and we want you to be aware that we have stuff going on. In the evenings, there's Monday night is food trucks and fireworks. Tuesday night, we're working on this special music thing that's it's coming together, but we're not ready to announce it yet. Next week, we'll announce it. The Thursday night of Camp Out is a Quizzo night, and then all kinds of stuff happening throughout the day.
It's going to be a big one.
Looking very, very forward to this.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys got anything going on this weekend, but I wanted to give a shameless plug to my daughter's school, Mary and Mercy Academy. They're putting on their fall play, and it's Clue. And so my youngest is playing the part of the singing telegram, which is great. Yeah. So, and they do such a great job. Chris Monaco is the director, and all of the young ladies are so talented. So, if you're looking for something to do with that's family friendly, Mary and Mercy's Clue is playing all weekend long.
Cool. All right, we will go to the calls. This is number 3. I got Dave on the line. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning.
Dave, the word of the week, please.
Is it beard?
It is beard.
Great day in the morning. Kachaka.
All right, Dave.
Chaka-la-daka.
Since you got that right, we got a live casino and Hotel Philadelphia prize pack, including an overnight stay at the hotel, $150 dining credit. You are also going to go see Jay Farrow performing at the Live Event Center on Friday, March 14th. All right, bud?
Boom, boom, chaka.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Dave. Hang on the line. We'll get your information. And we can send you to livecasinophilly.com for tickets, information, and you can get in on the $50,000 live Pick'em Football Challenge. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I will take this very moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Nifty 50. Stop by Nifty 50's, order the Preston and Steve inspired milkshake gingerbread blast, and a portion of proceeds will benefit the Camp Out for Hunger. Next week on our program, the stunningly beautiful and extremely intelligent Danica McKellar will be joining us. Comedian Jeffrey Asmus will be in the studio. Sarah Wren, the makeup artist.
Yes. Hey, we're going to get our makeup.
We're going to get our makeup done. And then we have Tom Sucking on a Chili Dog McGovern joining us. He's the guy that performs Sucking on a Chili Dog that we played over and over, as well as
Sucking on a Chili Dog.
Yep.
Sucking on a Chili Dog.
He's done a lot of other great comedy inspired videos as well. So he'll be joining us, and the Great American Smokeout is taking place.
Amazing.
Bunch of other things too. That's it. We are done. Rage on and have yourself a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.